What's going on, guys? Welcome back to United View. Hope everyone is doing very well. Pre-season settings continue after the successful first pre-season fixture that saw Manchester United defeat Liverpool 4-0 and win the Bangkok Trophy. It's taken pride in our trophy case. We're back for another pre-season fixture. This time, we're not in Thailand, we're in Australia. We're down under. I wish I could do a good Australian accent, but I cannot. And we're going to be playing Melbourne Victory. Now, I'm joined by Marcel for this match for you today. Marcel, what are you saying? How you feeling?
I'm
Positive?
Yeah, a bit positive, Owen, today. Looking forward to see what happens today. A team that I think we expect to win, but it's all about just getting the minutes in now and structure and that kind of thing. So, happy.
Yes. I mean, there's a bit... It's funny, actually, isn't there? Because there is a sort of weird sense of optimism surrounding Manchester United at the moment.
Yes.
Of course, coming off of the victory against Liverpool the other day, and I know you can't read too much into it. It's pre-season. There is an element of bragging rights, but we still got them third game of the season. So that's not to say we're not worried about that, but there were positives from that performance, specifically in that first half, the high press, a little bit of passing. So hopefully we see more of that today.
Yeah.
But I guess there's just a bit of optimism, Marcel, because new manager,
Yes.
bit of a fresh start. Just, there's just a bit of a positive feeling.
And that's the best way for us to be right now. It's early stages for sure, and he's coming into a new league. We have to put everything into context, and the results and the performances throughout the season will definitely do that for us. But to see wins is always something to take positivity from, And there was Ten Hag is definitely setting the tempo. He's made sure that he's let us know there was plenty of mistakes. There's still a standard to meet, but, there was definitely good things. And compared to last season, any little good bit of football, we should be very happy. We should be very happy to see. So
it's true, though. It is true because our standards, I want to say, are low, but I guess the threshold's just so low. We spoke about it yesterday morning, didn't we? When we said that we were, especially towards the end of the season, we were going into every game, and I know it's pre-season, but we were going into every game. I was definitely dreading it.
Yeah.
Every single game, it would be a match day, and of course, you'd be excited. It's Manchester United. You support the team, but you just went into it with this feeling of,
yeah,
here we go again. And again, that's not to say that that's not going to happen this season, because we don't know. And we only have played one preseason game, and our best, strongest side played 45 minutes. But I'm just enjoying the fact that these preseason fixtures are coming up, and I'm going into them going, I'm interested. Yeah. I'm excited to see how we play.
Yeah. Confidence was on the floor last season. And, towards the end, it just looked like players giving up. What they had done to us was unforgivable, to be honest with you. But for the turnaround, the little progression that we're seeing now, it looks positive, and you want to see more of that. So, we can see that there's going to be a standard set, and players are going to have to meet it, otherwise they just won't be playing. Also, the signings are coming in now, so we're feeling more like something's being done. We were looking like everyone's not doing anything. We're not trying to be serious in the market, but now players are coming in, and things are going to be on the up, I think.
Yeah, I mean, kickoff's about 30 minutes away. It's at 11:05 British summer time, our time over here in the UK. We are going to talk about the starting 11 in a second or so. But before I raced all the way down here to UVHQ, of course, I was live talking about the announcements from Fabrizio Romano. Here we go, that Lisandro Martinez is, he will be officially a Manchester United player. That deal is done. It's now just a case of getting the medical done, getting the official announcement from the club. The hope is that he'll be joining up with the squad in Australia hopefully next week. Of course, the issue always is getting a visa to go over there. That might delay things, the bureaucracy side of football. But Marcel, initial reaction. Here we go. Lisandro Martinez, how do you feel about it?
Yep, done and dusted. A player that Ten Hag wants. Left-sided centre-back. That's what we're thinking he's going to be playing majority of the time. Competition for places, another thing that, Ten Hag said he wants. So these are just all good things coming in now. A lot of people are a bit worried about the height issue. In terms of being...
Yeah. Well, we spoke about that, didn't we?
Yes,
in the
we
sense
did,
that I think it's naive to be like, well, he's going to be rubbish. He's too short. He's too short to be a centre-back. This is 2022 we're talking about. Football has evolved, and we have had great centre-backs be short in the past. And again, put it this way. You're a short guy.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm a tall guy.
Yeah.
If you were playing centre-back against me as a striker, I wouldn't expect you to be trying to go up for headers with me.
Yeah.
You would go, okay, I'm going to back off because I've got no pace. But Marcel does have pace.
Yeah.
That's what you would do, wasn't it?
Yes. You got to look at your strengths and how you can add to your strengths and try and cancel out your weaknesses as best as possible. And for example, I would maybe give you to another taller defender, my partner.
Off.
Yeah, pass you off, and then look for somebody else that's maybe a little bit shorter. So that's a bit easier for me. So there's clever things like that can be done and sorted and communicated about. Also, there's different elements to the heading, bravery, positioning. If I can get in a certain position ahead of you, maybe I get the advantage and you maybe have to draw a foul from me or something like that. So, we've seen him pocket Haaland before, and he's gone to the other side of Manchester. So this man wanted to come. He wanted to be part of the Premier League and Manchester United. So it's a positive.
And what is interesting about it as well is that, this is a guy we've signed for, I think it's roughly 55 million euros.
Yep.
That isn't a signing you make to be on the bench.
Yeah.
He's playing. So if you're these other centre-backs that are at Manchester United now, Maguire, Varane, Lindelof, Bailly, Jones, Twanzebe, Mengi, first of all, take a couple off that list because some of them need to be sold and they will be sold. But if you're those other, let's say three, Maguire, Varane, Lindelof, you're fighting for your spot now. You really are. You've got this fight that's going on between the captain of the club, probably the best defender at the club in Varane, and Lindelof, who I think is going to thrive under Erik ten Hag because he's that kind of defender as well. So who do you think is that regular starting pair?
That's such a good question. A lot of time I'm hearing, and I genuinely do believe availability is one of the best abilities you have as a player. And Maguire plays a lot of minutes, but he's just not good enough, I don't think. And this is going to really test his game. At the end of the day, he doesn't have that recovery pace as quick as Lindelof. The passing range is not that much higher or lower than Lindelof's. It's quite similar. So we're now looking at what can he offer to the team that the other players don't. And consistently enough, but he is always available. So, and he's the captain. It's going to be between Maguire, Lindelof and Eric Bailly for that right-sided centre-back. And I think Martinez, if he plays well, if he can adjust to the league, then he will be the regular left-sided centre-back. The weird thing is, though, Owen, I'm thinking about it. Would any of these players that come in, will they be starters straight away? We're seeing McFred again starting. These are all Premier League proven players. Do the other players need to come and get minutes, get a feel for the Premier League, get a feel for the competition? Do we see a standard kind of Man United team that we saw last season starting at the beginning of this season because, these are new players adjusting to a league?
Well, it's good that you bring that up, actually. Let's get into the starting 11 for today's game against Melbourne victory. There's 3 changes that Erik ten Hag has made from the starting 11 that played against Liverpool. The changes see Tom Heaton replace David De Gea in goal. Of course, we know that De Gea went off. It looked like he had a bit of a tight hamstring or some kind of injury, so he's not being risked. The plan was previously, and actually Tom Heaton told us this himself when he was speaking to Flex and KG after the game, that the plan was for De Gea to play all of that game and possibly have Heaton play all of this game or a game in the week anyway. So Heaton replaces De Gea. Harry Maguire's back in. Of course, he didn't play either against Liverpool due to injury, but Ten Hag confirmed in the press conference that Maguire would be back to play at least a half, so we're expecting Maguire to play at least 45 minutes today. He replaces Rafael Varane, who interestingly isn't on the bench, which is quite curious because we didn't think he was going to play in the last game because he didn't train. So that was surprising. So it was surprising to see him play, and now it's surprising to see him not in the squad. So we'll see if we get any quotes from Erik ten Hag about that whilst we're live. The other change sees Anthony Elanga replace Marcus Rashford, but apart from that, it's an unchanged side. So you've got Heaton in goal, Dalot at right back, Lindelof and Maguire as your centre-backs. Luke Shaw stays at left back, Fred and McTominay. McFred stays. You've got then Sancho, Fernandes and Elanga, and then Anthony Martial up front. What's your initial reactions to that starting 11 and those changes?
These are the footballers that let us down last season, and these are the footballers that he has to get something more out of. None of them were going to be players that most probably were going to be sold. So he has to go and maybe see what they can do with the shape, understand what they have to do. There were times where they got, played through against Liverpool. There were times where they excelled and, the likes of Dalot's getting shots off, breaking lines. So he's maybe testing that side again to see if they can just gel, if there's a balance. That looks like the side that, was around most of the time last season. So, he just wants to see if he can, tweak things most probably. I'm feeling positive about it. I would have liked to seen, some of, like Donny, I would like to see him mixing more with the first team players a bit. Zidane, Iqbal, Ethan Laird. We've got problems in terms of a well-balanced right back. But, it's pre-season, it's early start. So early signs is it's okay. It's a decent squad.
CMDR is the latest member of the Manchester United. I always do that. When I'm talking about United Live, I always go Manchester United Members Club. It's the UV Members Club. It's the United View Members Club. If you wish to join the UV Members Club, the link is in the video description. It's also the pinned comment in the live chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis. Put your emojis in the chat right now. If you are a member, you can get your flex emoji, your KG emoji, your bomb emoji, your feeling emoji. Who knows? We might even have a Marcel emoji in the future.
And an Owen one too.
I hope so. We'll get a Marcel emoji that has like a speech bubble and says positivity.
Listen, we need to get that worked out.
The optimist. You can have your bucket hat on as well. So if you do wish to join the UV Members Club, you can do so by clicking, as I mentioned, the link in the video description or the pinned comment in the live chat. You also get exclusive members-only videos as well. Plenty of stuff planned for that in the future. We also are going up against a familiar face today, Marcel, because Melbourne Victory recently signed Nani.
Super nanny skill.
Yeah.
Can you remember that back in the day? That video?
Yeah.
Is that like outside the house or something? Super nanny skill.
What? He does not get the respect that he deserves, because I recall being a bit younger when Nani was there, and maybe it's because he was in the shadow of Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And he maybe was somewhat inconsistent. But you put Nani's numbers up against like any of our wingers today.
Yeah.
Miles ahead. Maybe we just didn't realise what we had with Nani at his prime. Scoring goals 25 yards out, flips. Yeah. I remember when he played against Arsenal at the Emirates. Remember that?
The kick-up.
When he skips through, dinks over the keeper. I mean, tremendous. I mean, and he's a quality player that I don't think gets the respect that he deserves.
You're right, but just the standards were so high. Winners everywhere, captains everywhere, and it just shows us how far we've kind of dwindled away from that high standard of footballer. But no, definitely a talented player. He's going to be against Luke Shaw, right? So
I would assume so, right? Right-hand side. I mean, this is the thing. And I think it's a good point you make there, actually, about someone like Nani, because at the time, again, some fans would maybe be like, oh, is he good enough? Is he quality or whatever? If we had a prime Nani in our side today, we'd be raving.
Yes, yeah.
We'd be absolutely raving. And he'd be, I mean, how much do you think a prime Nani would go for in today's market?
That's a really good question. Wow.
When you've got people like Rafinha, by the way, going to Barcelona for like 72 million euros.
Yeah. He would be in that bracket, maybe the 60 million pounds mark. Anyway.
Let us know in the chat. How much do you think a prime Nani would go for in today's market?
Yeah.
I think it'd be a lot,
He's won things in the game. He's very good skillfully. Wow. No, definitely. Wow, 60 million.
You go for 60?
Yeah,
I think he'd be up there, I really
60,
do.
60,
I think he'd be up there.
Pepe, how much does Pepe go for?
Wow. Exactly. Let's not compare anything like that. But it'll be interesting to see Nani. People are saying 55 with a here we go, LOL. 80, Imran saying. Marik saying 75. Leon saying 90.
90.
Moving saying 75. Matty saying 80. Top bin saying 61.75. Do you know what? It is quite an interesting thought, isn't it?
100%.
And again, I remember being part of so many conversations when I was younger with Nani playing, of being like, oh, is he that good though?
Exactly, yeah.
He's inconsistent, but the guy had moments.
Do you think the standard of the games maybe dropped, or for us as a club anyway?
Of course it has.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no brainer. Standards drop.
Yeah.
It's just, I just think it goes to show, doesn't it?
Yeah.
At the time, our standard was that high that you had a player like Nani that you would like, oh, he's rubbish. And now you'd be desperate.
Yeah.
We'd be desperate to have like a Nani today. Of course we would. Going back to the starting 11 though, Marcel, a couple of interesting people on the bench, of course. One being Donny van der Beek.
Mm-hmm.
Do we look too much into that, or should we look more into that? Because again, there's only been 3 changes to the starting 11. Is the sort of crux of what Ten Hag has gone for the last 2 games, is that really his preferred sort of selection, do you think? If he's only making 3 changes from that starting 11, that would imply the majority of who is starting are his preferred starters, are they not?
100%. I love this kind of debate now. Now we're talking about pieces of the puzzle, what kind of players fit where, what can this player add to the team? We're not complaining about the performance and the type of performance that the players are playing. We're looking maybe too much into it. It's only the second game. But, because we're seeing good patterns of play, we're thinking what other players in the squad now can add in a different way or make the team better. We know that Donny's been played under Ten Hag before. So we're expecting a better Donny right now. But I'm a bit worried, I can't lie. I would really like to see him start with the first teamers. Last season, he didn't really get to do much of that. He was in Champions League games. He was in Cup fixtures against West Ham, against young boys, not being a starting player, Yes, playing in the 10, which I think a lot of us would like to see him play in, Owen, but I think he needs to be amongst the first
that's
team.
what Ten Hag said, didn't he? In the press conference, they were asked, where do you see Donny's best position? And he said, we can play deeper or we can play more advanced. But when he came on in the last game, he was the 10.
Yeah.
And one of the big talking points with Donny under Ollie was that the reason that Donny wasn't playing games is because our 10 is Bruno Fernandes.
Yes.
And Bruno, especially under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, undroppable. You couldn't drop him. So Donny had to be on the bench.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have said, and like you said, we can't read too much into it. It's 2 starting lineups. But if Donny's getting the same treatment from his guy, from his coach, in his coach's system, what does that spell for him in terms of his future? Because he must have been thinking, right, this is my chance.
Yeah.
This is my chance. My manager's coming in. The guy who developed me believes in me. And I'm still on the bench.
It's crazy. But, well, firstly, what position do you think Donny plays? And do you think he can play in a 6?
Well, it's system-based, isn't it? That's the thing, is because we're still playing here 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
The assumption I think that some people had, and I had, is that we would move away from 4-2-3-1 and we'd be more 4-3-3, something like that.
Yep.
But as a 4-2-3-1, Donny's basically limited in where he can play.
Yeah.
Because it's either a 10 or it's those 2 6s behind the 10, behind the forward players. But in that 4-2-3-1 for Manchester United, they've always been sort of defensive midfield players, ball winners.
Yeah.
Donny isn't that. Now, you can play one ball winner and Donny, but when you've got a squad like us that maybe is lacking a little bit in quality, maybe you can't afford to do that. So basically the point is that Donny has to either be a 10 in that system or nothing. Whereas if it's a 4-3-3, there's maybe 2 8s.
Exactly.
So that's how he can get into that system a little bit more.
Why do I feel like we're in a little Juan Mata situation? Mata had a similar thing. We couldn't really play him in the 10. He had to go out wide a bit more. But if we had maybe played with the 2 8s, like you're saying, maybe he could have found somewhere a bit like a Di Maria kind of thing where he gets in as an 8 and plays well there. You know, Di Maria's had a very good season in that kind of 8 role. And Juan Mata maybe would have had a career there. So maybe, you know, Van der Donny can fit in as an 8 and then have an additional 8 with him and then the 6 behind. But he's just not been able to fit in the squad. I don't know. It's quite interesting. I know he can't play out wide for sure.
No, he
but,
doesn't have the pace for it.
Yeah, but maybe Bruno goes out wide and Donny takes the middle position.
Yeah, maybe. Fat Thor says, Ten Hag sees Donny as a 10, although we see him as an 8. The manager knows better. Interesting. Hilton says, who was more consistent, Pogba or Nani? You would say for United, if you're going to compare them, you would say Nani.
Nani, 100%.
Because, you know, winning things.
Exactly.
Goals in big games as well.
Yeah.
Performances in big games. Again, I can recall, like, playing Arsenal at the Emirates, when you think about Nani. I can recall him scoring a goal against Spurs at Old Trafford, levers it in the top corner.
Yes.
You know, playing in big games for Manchester United and achieve things. Pogba, I don't even like to sort of discuss the Pogba thing anymore. You know what I mean?
It's done now.
After the Juventus stuff, and I know he's done, there was a post, I think it was Sport Bible or someone like that, saying, because Pogba had basically said, like, Juventus is my home or something like that. And then they said, like, decide where your home is, Paul, or something like that. And he said, I did. And it's like, well, you didn't.
No. Exactly, yeah.
You didn't. And what's the hashtag he's been using?
I haven't
Pog back to back or something like that.
Is it?
Or Pog back again.
A bit self-obsessed right now. I don't know. He hasn't produced for us, and you know, good luck to him. Like you said, I'm done talking about it now. The footballer that doesn't want to play for us, and has left as well, especially now. It's just done now.
With this, going back to the game today, the 4-2-3-1. Again, we thought we were going to probably see the end of it. It's back. It's Pog back. Does that change if and when we get Frankie de Jong in? Because can you see us playing a 4-2-3-1 with Frankie de Jong in that system?
Do you know what? When I'm thinking Ten Hag ball, I'm thinking the starting position doesn't even matter now. You know, it's so changeable. It's, you know, fullbacks coming inside and adding to the midfield areas, causing overloads. It's interchangeable midfielders with fullbacks. It's the 10 and the 9 interchanging. It's the wide players holding that width, not even moving up the pitch, just holding the width at all times positionally. So I think potentially De Jong will, change the way that the sixes play, but it could still be a 4-2-3-1, It's just that De Jong would maybe come into the defensive line more and a fullback might come higher and make a free for a little bit in the defensive. I think it's going to be very interchangeable, and that starting shape won't necessarily be the shape that we're always in, especially in our offensive game. Maybe our defensive game, we stick to that shape, but I think I really would want to see, and I think you're right, I'm expecting once Frankie de Jong comes in, a 6 and 2 8s.
Yeah, that's the way that I see it. I mean, because I just can't. And again, it's difficult to say because we're so used to 4-2-3-1 and a rigid 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
And maybe under Ten Hag, he does play this system, but like you say, it's way more fluid. And those 2 6s, one is a lot deeper, and they're not 2 ball winners. But the way I perceived the 4-3-3 under Ten Hag, if Frankie comes in, was that, like you said, he'd be that deeper 6, taking the ball off Martinez in defence. Then you've got the 2 more advanced 8s that could be, let's say, Donny and Eriksson or Donny and Bruno, depending on what Bruno's going to happen. And then you've got the wide players and then you've got the striker. That, to me, makes more logical sense. Yeah. But I suppose we don't know. And maybe Ten Hag's saying in these preseason friendlies, like I want to play that, but until I have the players, I'm not going to do it because there's no point.
Yeah, 100%. I think I agree with you totally. I mean, and he might just learn things where he has to change it in a different way. And everything that we're thinking and we're guessing previously, that's because he's been doing it in the Dutch league. This is a different animal completely, the Premier League. It's a whole never level up. So he might want to tweak his tactics again, and we're excited to see that as well. But I do agree with you. I mean, depending on what players he has will depend the system that he decides to play as well. And that's very interesting because right now he's gone with what we would have seen all last season, really. So he's showing these players that I'm gonna utilize you guys and see what I can do with you guys first before I add additional players in. Why have we not seen the likes of Malacia and what he can add and bring? He's stuck to his guns and given the likes of Luke Shaw a chance, Lindelof a chance. Eric Bailly played brilliantly. And likes to drive with the ball, as we've seen.
Yeah.
So, he can be utilised differently, but we'll see. But it's interesting to see like the likes of Maguire, how he adds or takes away from the style that we saw against Liverpool in the first half for sure. But, we'll have to see.
There's a firework display going off in the Melbourne cricket ground right now. The lights are off. There's fireworks. There's just fire in general. It's a big stadium, isn't it? It's massive. So
quite open as well.
Yeah. I mean, fair play to the Australian people giving United a heck of a welcome there. Yeah. And the thing is, we kind of forget about this, don't we? Because these are why sometimes these tours are so important. Yes, people focus on the commercial side of things, and yes, it is a big money spinner. Clearly, that's why they travel around the world in those big markets that they know they can make money in. But for fans, say in Australia, say in Thailand, the chances are they will never go to a game at Old Trafford because they won't be able to, or what have you. And they're able to go and watch their team play. Like, it's a big event. It is a big event. And yes, it's pre-season. And yes, there's maybe fans over here in the UK that are, see this and go, it's just pre-season fixture, blah, blah, blah. It still is a big deal to those watching live. And I think sometimes we forget that, don't we? That it's a big event.
You're 100% right, Owen. I mean, this club's so global, isn't it? Like, it's just such a big club. So when you think about people are waking up at 2:00 in the morning to support us, our community, wake up very early to watch us and speak about the game that we all love, about the team that we all love. This club really is not, the divine right of just the people within this country. It's such a massive club, so it's really good to just see, that they travel around the world. Other people get to see these players as well and get to see our club play.
Yeah, I mean, it's so true because I remember doing some match views last season, and when we're talking about here going into games being like, oh, here we go. There are some people waking up at 2:00 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, going, yeah, it's rubbish, but I'm still following the team. I'm still supporting the team. And again, sometimes you have to broaden your mind and think about that. So it's great that some of these fans are able to actually go and watch them for the first time. We're just seeing Charlie Savage on the screen right there. What do you make of him in the last game? You were really impressed, weren't you?
Yeah, 100%. And very interesting in terms of the two midfielders, the two younger midfielders handling their own in what was a weaker side. You know, they had to predominantly do a lot of defensive work, but they done it well, concentrated, and quality on the ball. So, and they would have been working the longest with Ten Hag anyway. So for him to put them out there, and I know, or I would like to believe that he will utilize some of these players. They'll get opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost, I don't want to say disappointed, but I would have liked to have seen at least one of them start as a bit of a reward. He was asked about Zidane Iqbal, I think it was after the game or in one of his interviews after that game. And Ten Hag said, actually, you know what? I was pleasantly surprised. Like, I didn't sort of expect that because, as you mentioned, it wasn't just the pressure and the press that they were putting on the Liverpool players. It was the availability to want the ball, playing out from the back, and it was the composure of getting the ball, having a bit of space, finding the right pass on a pitch that wasn't the best pitch. Yeah. And again, big pressure situation. And it's not as if they were playing the Liverpool players that were playing in the first half. They were playing proper Liverpool players. They had arguably their strongest 11 out was that 11 in that final 30 minutes, 45 minutes there. So I thought they did really, really well. And as we mentioned, I would have liked to have seen whether it would be Savage or Zidane Iqbal start. But at the same time, they'll come on, I'm sure, in the second half again today. And I'm excited to see how they do again against maybe a bit of a lesser opposition. Maybe, hopefully, they'll have a bit more time on the ball. And that's maybe what you would say about Donny, isn't it? Is yes, Donny might be playing in the second half with maybe the kids once again, but he should, in theory, have more time on the ball than he would have against Liverpool because the quality of players were too much. So we could maybe still see more of what they're capable of.
Yeah. So last game, and because they were against the men, it was more of a thing of we're looking at the counter-attacking, the shape, especially for their second half to display. But today it will be more about, can we break down the low block? Even maybe for the kids that get on, you know, it will be a similar quality or lesser quality side, I'm assuming. So it will be about, can we break down the low block? How many combinations can we make before we break lines and get through? Can we be patient enough in terms of recycling and the build-up? Especially, that would be most probably the big thing for both sides or both halves of the game, the build-up phase. How good is the build-up, the interchanges between the fullbacks and the centre midfielders, which the young guys will be part of. Question for you though, Owen.
Go on.
Who do you think will feature, or who would you like to see feature throughout the season in terms of the likes of Savage, Iqbal, Hannibal? You know, who do you think would have a breakthrough season?
I don't know. I mean, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because they both could have a very impressive pre-season, and it still might not be anything to do for this season, but it plants the seed in Ten Hag's mind of, I'll tell you what, next season, I'll put them out on loan this season, but that's in the mindset of when they come back, they're going to properly be involved because I see there's something there. Yeah. Maybe it's not right for me to keep them on the bench or in the squad this season because they're not going to play. They need game time, but I see something's there. Yeah. Maybe it's kind of a sort of a mindset for the future. I was slightly surprised we didn't see Garnacho against Liverpool. I thought we were going to see him, and maybe we'll see him today because by all accounts it's it's funny because they said he had a breakthrough season last season. I'm not sure if that's completely accurate. Yeah. I mean, I definitely, for the youth team, he was doing bits for the youth team. Of course, we know with the Youth Cup final, scored 2 goals. But my hope was that we would see him more on this tour, and obviously one game we still might. But it'll be interesting to see if he plays today, won't it?
Yeah, I mean he hasn't had a Makeda or Rashford or Januzaj kind of breakthrough season where it's like big moments or something.
Like an Alanga.
Yeah, even like Alanga. He hasn't had really that kind of breakthrough season, but he's done very well in the youth games, but. There's so many other players I think ahead of him. What does that mean for Facundo or Elanga? Because he wasn't that brilliant, or even Ahmad if we're putting Garnacho ahead of him or ahead of them. So maybe loans to be done, but just looking forward to seeing some of the youth players in the wide areas.
Players are coming out on the pitch right now. There's fire, there's steam. It's a heck of an entrance. Harry Maguire's leading the team out, which I'm sure people are enjoying immensely. Before the game kicks off, though, we've got a super chat here from Red Baron Marcel that says, Owen, what's your opinion on De Gea? Now, I could give you my opinion on David De Gea.
We want to hear your opinion.
My opinion.
We don't hear my opinion.
You know my opinion on David De Gea. My opinion is that he's Manchester United's #1 goalkeeper, and he will. There's a lot of smoke.
Yeah, it's an interesting atmosphere to play in.
Yeah,
can't see your teammate high up the pitch.
That's quite a good camera angle because you've gone through that as well. You've gone through it, and now they can see. That was nice. I enjoyed that. But yes, De Gea, Man United's #1. In what was our worst season ever in the Premier League. I thought he could hold his head high last season.
Ish.
I thought against Liverpool, I thought he showed signs of the criticism that was against him last season, which, to be fair, and this is the thing, we've had this conversation, haven't we, that when we had that full view in here and the clip and it blew up and everyone said, we're bullying Marcel, we're laughing at him. First of all, we were not bullying Marcel. Two, I was laughing at Marcel because he said, unfortunately, I don't agree with you. And that's funny. That's funny because it was the most polite disagree.
Yeah, no, because I am generally polite.
Yeah. So that's why we were laughing. We weren't laughing at him having an opinion on David De Gea. Yeah. I've said to you before, haven't I, that I think some of your criticism on him and others is it's valid. You know, of course it's valid. His distribution needs to improve, or his starting position needs to be higher. I mean, I'm a goalkeeper.
Yes, so So you know the elements. Yeah, of course.
I would say that you've got to be off your starting line more. He's not the best at coming for crosses. I feel like sometimes the scrutiny on him, especially last season, when you're talking about other parts of the team that are far worse and deserve far more scrutiny, that's my point of contention. But going back to Liverpool game, I thought he did very well. I thought those things that people were criticising him for, he was doing in that game. His starting position was considerably higher. A couple of times he came out and swept the ball. Can he do that in the entire season? And it's okay to do that in pre-season once or twice, but you have to do it in the Premier League throughout all of the games. Distribution was okay. It wasn't great at times, but then neither was Alisson's.
Exactly, yes.
So, I mean, I thought he did well in that last game.
No, fair, very fair and honest, and I would agree, spot on assessment on him. You guys were just talking about, you got two constants, ranking of, instant kind of changes that are required in the team. De Gea is not number one. Yeah. We all know it's the midfield, so totally agree with you guys. Maybe I think Faz might be spinning it a little bit different. Yeah. That I just no way he should be changed. No, he definitely needs to be changed. But, in terms of priority, the likes of yourself, Flex, definitely was saying there's two constants in the team, Ronaldo and De Gea. We need to have them around. So I understand that thought process for a season. But beyond the season, and I've said before, I'm giving him one season and I'm supporting him. And the first game, early signs, very good passing range, The long passing I'm a bit worried about, but the short passing, the confidence coming off the line, plenty positives.
Yeah, I mean, and Ten Hag's no fool as well. If he sees that it's a massive problem this season, they'll look to maybe address it next season in the transfer window. But there are just far bigger fish to fry when it comes to the goalkeeping situation. And, of course, De Gea's not playing today as well. He's injured. Yeah. So who knows? Tom Heaton. I mean, Tom Heaton might have games this season as well. You would expect maybe Heaton might play some Europa League games as well. I didn't have a ton, to be fair, he didn't have a ton to do, as I can recall, in the second half against Liverpool. I think Salah hit the post. Nunes
maybe one save.
It. Yeah, maybe one save.
But Eric Bailly was everywhere in front of him, defending everything, so he didn't really have much work to do. Do you think we go on the market for another keeper, or
maybe a third choice goalkeeper?
Here in Romero,
yeah, maybe. I mean, Romero was linked. I feel like that was more from Camp Romero, to be fair, then, because I didn't realise that he was 35.
Yes.
And he's had, I don't think he played that much for his last club. He had a big knee problem.
Yeah, just got let go.
So I don't know if we'd be getting the same Romero that we had previously, because when he was at United, you would have said, one of the best number twos you can ask for, right? Argentinian international. He was still playing for Argentina, whilst he was the number two. It's not bad. We're 5 seconds. We've got a big countdown for the kickoff as well. So we were about to kick off.
Nani's not starting.
Is he not starting? That's a shame.
He's not.
We're off. Martial kicks off for Manchester United. Look at that. I mean, that is a heck of a stadium, isn't it? That is really impressive.
Nice. Reminds me a little bit of West Ham's ground in terms of how far away the fans are from.
Yeah. Well, it's a cricket ground, isn't it? So, but it's huge capacity. Yeah. Nice pitch as well. Obviously, it's difficult when you've got one of those sort of multi-stadiums that sometimes the pitches can be a bit dodgy. Yeah. It reminds me of like, it's sort of an early sort of Europa League fixture. Sort of halfway across Europe. And there's a lot of sort of steam in the air and smoke in the air because a load of flares have gone off and all that kind of stuff.
Serbia or something.
Yeah.
Serbia.
Yeah. But nice atmosphere. And again, it's winter out there as well, opposite side of the world. It's freezing. Go and see Flex or KG or Josh's Instagram story. You'll see how cold it is over there. They go from Thailand of being humid straight to Australia or Melbourne where it's cold. I tell you what though, it is a bit distracting. Like that ball that was there, it feels like it's still on the pitch. The patch of grass is so big.
That's what I'm trying to say. Look, and they've got a couple others.
It's distracting, isn't it? You think there's another ball. Luke Shaw's on the ball though, left hand side. It'll be interesting again to see what is. How we play. Obviously, we're going to have a lot more space than we did against Liverpool. I don't think they're going to be pressing us as high. That was an attempt by a free ball by Diogo Dalot there. Yeah. So an interesting dilemma here or an interesting test, maybe that's a better word, for Erik ten Hag, because against Liverpool, you've got a team that's going to press you, intense, try and win the ball, have a lot of the ball as well. From the opening 90 seconds or so here, this Melbourne team's going to sit off.
Yes.
And this is going to happen to Manchester United quite a lot this season, especially at home when you've got the lesser teams backing off, saying you can have the ball, break us down. And even some of the Ajax fans used to say about Ten Hag, the problem is when you have those teams that sit back, sometimes we can't break them down, or it's a long slog, 1-0 settings. So this is going to be quite interesting because it's a completely different style of game than the Liverpool game.
Yeah, I think I was just saying a little bit earlier, this game, we're either playing a low block team and it's breaking down 2 banks of 4, and that's what it looks like. And it almost looks like Fred's playing in the 6 by himself, and he's got Scott and Bruno ahead of him. It almost looks like it's a 6 and 2 8s, and the fullbacks trying to tuck in at times as well to cause overload. So, like you said, we haven't seen the ball really get from the defensive line and the midfield line to the forwards yet, but they're trying to pass it quickly and move the ball quickly now, and it's a test. It's a test of the shape. Look, Sancho's dropping it into the right back position now.
Yeah, this is proper low block settings, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the Melbourne Victory players are all in their own half.
Yeah.
There is not a Melbourne.
It's a beautiful test. I'm really happy to see this now because, the lesser sides, and with all respect to the teams in the Premier League, of course, but, that's the kind of way that they're going to suffocate the space in behind, and they're going to ask, questions of your ability and moving the ball quickly and trying to find holes in their shape. So, it's a good little test here.
Yeah, nice little pass by Fred there. Here's Bruno Fernandes, shifts it to Diogo Dalot. It's actually quite far inside there.
Yeah, good underlap shape. Look, here's the underlap.
Sancho cuts in. Bruno Fernandes, edge of the box. McTominay, what's he going to do? Patience. Oh, it hits Bruno Fernandes. See, that's the thing that Ten Hag would look at someone like McTominay and go, why are you forcing it there?
Yeah.
It's not on. Keep it.
Exactly.
Keep it. Wait for the space to open up. And you know what? This is going to be a real fascinating game, actually, because obviously the Liverpool game's a big test, great team.
Yep.
But this is a more interesting test because this is... Oh, it's a little bit... I don't think that went out. This is a test that is going to be quite relevant to our season, especially at home against those smaller sides.
Yep. This is going to be a huge feature throughout the Premier League, for at least 10, a third of your games, this kind of scenario where, you need to find the spaces and... the striker, if he's not going to see a lot of the ball, unless you're playing the ball quickly through the third. So
I'll tell you what, Melbourne Victory just completely beat that press. He was in a little bit here, crosses
Look, they
it.
are in.
He's through.
1-0.
Wow. Melbourne Victory. I tell you what, that is shockingly poor by Manchester United. They have just played through us like a knife through butter. Melbourne Victory have maybe touched the ball, 5 times, and they've already scored. That was... piss poor defending. Literally, they played it out from the back. The strikers attempt to press them, ish. They literally do 2 passes, 1 long pass down the right-hand side, cuts it back, past Maguire, who looks like he's running through treacle. Look how slow he's running. He tries to step up, again, Maguire. Look at that. Look how slow he's running. That is so poor. If you're Erik ten Hag, you would look at Harry Maguire there and go, mate, you're running about a mile an hour, if that. Oh my goodness!
We talk about
decent finish, but that is really poor. Yeah, that is really poor defending overall, just in general.
Yeah.
But Maguire, there's no way he is fit.
No,
No way he is fit.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge issue. We've got him in the right centre back position, which he doesn't usually play, left centre back position, but he's not good enough, man. And hopefully Ten Hag understands this. I mean, the defending starts from the front, so we need to work out why it's gone through the attacking line and midfield line so quickly. But when it gets, we're it's just so poor.
That is honestly, so poor. The thing is, and I get it, like people will say, well, if Man City scored that goal, you'll go a great goal. But it was easy.
Yeah, look, we've lost the ball again. Look.
They've lost the ball again. Here's Melbourne Victory on the attack again. I am stunned by how slow Harry Maguire was there.
Yeah, it's bad.
That is unbelievable. He did the thing. He does this all the time. He's looking across the line. He's side on like that. Steps up. The ball has already been passed. So I don't know why you're stepping up. It's already too late. And how slow is he?
He's not good at negotiating that space in behind him.
Ten Hag, and today you've just basically confirmed this deal for Lisandro Martinez.
Yeah.
Martinez gets back in that situation because he's got the pace.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And that's the problem. That's the problem I've been saying. Is he good enough to keep that space in between him and the goalkeeper? And then do we trust the goalkeeper maybe to come off the line a bit more to close angles and force the decision of the forward? But it's going to be difficult all season if we have that kind of recovery pace.
Here's Fred. Tries the ball over the top to Dalot, who's in the box. He heads it back. Martial. Ooh. And the thing is now, we're talking about the test. So it's still pre-season. We're talking about sort of game scenarios here now.
Yeah.
Not only have you got a side, low block, and they're going to continue. We know what they're going to do now. Low block, hit us on the counter-attack.
Yep.
They've done it once, they've scored.
Yeah.
And now it's even more low block because they don't even have the need to counter-attack
Comfortable
us
in their
anymore.
shape now, yeah.
Exactly.
Just
so
going to suffocate us even more.
This is going to be a real interesting situation for Erik ten Hag. And after a bit of positivity, ball over the top here, see if Dalot deals with it. He does, heads it back to Heaton. After a little bit of positivity, snap back to reality.
Yes.
Because that was just really, really poor defending. I mean, I can't emphasize it.
So I think we as fans have seen a lot of this anyway, this kind of poor characteristic. So I think it's about Ten Hag just, making sure that these people, or these players, should I say, are just playing a lot better than this, because the ball's not getting moved around quick enough.
Would you think then, so let's, again,
too pedestrian.
To go back to the goal, if you've got a Varane in there, do you think Varane makes it back?
Yeah,
cuts that ball out?
Yeah, 100%.
Because make no mistake, it wasn't the best ball across.
No.
There was still plenty of time to go.
He's nowhere near his striker part. His opponent.
I know. Here we go. They're on the counter-attack again. Fred and McTominay look slow to the ball as well.
I mean, we've got numbers back, but...
Yeah, numbers back here. But I'll tell you what, a couple of times they've got in already.
They just look more dangerous when as well.
That's
because we're chasing back and, we've got we're committing so many players in the...
And you can maybe question, you can say, fatigue, jet lag or whatever, but still, it's no excuse.
Yeah.
Shaw wins ahead of there. See, that's where I want Elanga. Press harder.
Yeah.
That's where Ten Hag would be saying press harder. Bruno's chasing the ball around. But to me that was not any sign of a coordinated press whatsoever.
Yeah.
That was the press last season where one player's running around, but they're not hunting impacts.
Yeah.
They're not hunting in triangles or anything like that. McTominay's having a stinker as well.
Yeah.
Ball into the box.
It's a good observation. It does look a bit disorganised now. And that's the consistency factor that we're talking about.
Just been thrown out straight back to a Melbourne player. He's got the overlap. No one's tracking it. This is actually a full-on mess.
Yeah. Luke Shaw's allowing crosses to come into the box.
My goodness. United, honestly, defensively, are at 6s and 7s
yes.
at this point. My goodness. Because they're just all over the place. It's really surprising. Ten Hag's pointing and shouting at players. He's shouting to Elanga, make the run, because Elanga's just looking at Shaw. And I think, in fairness, Shaw's saying, do something. It's all very static so far.
Yeah.
Certainly, as an opening 10 minutes go, I don't think I saw this one coming. Fred tries to forward pass, doesn't work.
It's literally like last season. You might see a good spell, and now it's just they don't know what they're doing. They just look like they don't know what to do.
Yeah, this is again 10 minutes going. That's a bit of a wayward pass, but Elanga's not there. Yeah, it's opening 10 minutes go. Yeah. I don't think you could ask for much of a worse one. The only thing
there was plenty of moments. I think last season it was like we would go a goal down, or it would take a little while for us to get into the game, and then we'll start playing well, or we'd concede a goal just before half time and.
Just seeing a replay of the goal here. Maguire is nowhere near him.
Nowhere near him. Yeah,
look at him.
Yeah. Nowhere near his opponent.
Nowhere near him. It's a decent finish. Keeper can't do too much about it, but
it's like he's completely lost his opponent. He's not looking for him. He's not taking any care whatsoever for where he is. He just doesn't understand the space and the distance that he's leaving him behind or around him. He's not spatially aware.
Super chat by Deaf by Stereo saying 3 minutes in and Maguire shows why he can't play a high line. And this is against Farmers. Imagine playing this system in the Premier League with him. Suicide.
Yep.
I think you're right. I think you're really right. Not only he attempted, because if you go back and watch it as well, he attempts to push up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what that attempt was as well. And he does not have the recovery pace to be doing that. He really doesn't.
He's not good enough. In a low block system, he would be good in a team like Atletico Madrid, or in the free, in with and two other partners with him, because then you don't need to rely on him so much for the pace. But he's just not good enough. And we were looking like we want to play with all our players in the opponent's half. So is it a corner?
United, hopefully, the goal kick. It was an attempt to ball across. They've tried that ball a couple of times, that sort of diagonal ball over to Sancho, but it's not really worked out. So that would say that Sancho once again is starting on that right-hand side. Ten Hag was shouting quite a lot to Anthony Elanga as well. He wasn't happy with his forward runs. The Melbourne fans are loving it. I bet they can't believe it.
Yeah.
They go, who are Man United? Shocking. Martial with a flick. That's a bit better. Speed it up a little bit. Here's Dalot. Crosses it into the box. looks for a Langer. It's too high. Comes back to Luke Shaw. Attempts a volley. Completely misses it.
Yeah.
Flicked into the box. Martial has great control.
Martial, great control.
It's not a penalty, though.
You don't think so?
No. Good control, though, by Martial. Good. At least that came from shift the ball a little bit quicker, right? A couple of one-touch passes and stuff like that.
That's what you want to do. One touch, flicks. It just increases the tempo, and unfortunately we couldn't make anything of it. I think potentially could have been a penalty shout, but nothing too much.
Melbourne might be in once again. Yeah. Maguire's one-on-one with a defender. Can he make up for it? Just about.
Honestly, it looks like he's going to give...
Ball into the box, crosses. Shaw heads it away. I mean, United looks so exposed. Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno.
That is Bruno last season as well. That is Bruno last season
care.
As well, of taking way too much time in a compromising position, nearly gives the ball away again. Oh, my goodness. It's last season all over again. Don't let the last game fool you. Yeah. Manzal with the super chat says, Maguire is good, but he doesn't have to defend. Yeah? That's pretty much it. I mean, if you're going to play a low line, like a deeper line, then Maguire's fine. Ball into the box.
Oh, my gosh. We're giving him a free header. What is
ball
going on?
Whipped into the box. Harry Maguire has no idea where the ball is. He can't even head it. The ball just goes flying over his head. I think you will struggle to find a worse sort of 13 minutes from Harry Maguire. Look at him.
No.
Not a clue. Doesn't have a clue where the player is. Doesn't have a clue where Diogo Dalot is. Look at that.
Just in between.
Absolutely static.
It's just communication, and it's just the communication in that offensive line, letting each other know who's going to take care of that man. It's just basic things,
That is... I mean, I'm glad that we're going to see different players at half time.
Yeah. I was always saying, we got. It's interesting to see how he will add to this team, because last time, Varane Lindelof looked much more sturdy. But
yeah.
It's just not really, and that was against different opponents. A weaker side in the first half, but still,
and that's the thing, isn't it? We, I don't know if it was the show I did with you or DJ the other morning. We were saying about Maguire. It was with you, because we were talking about the press conference.
Yeah,
and we said, how is he going to fit into this Ten Hag system? Can he fit in? And we said, well, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah,
we'll see
if
he can.
That, yeah. And look, we're
not
seeing,
so far.
Yeah, we're seeing now. We're seeing now, Owen. I mean, how do you think this is going to help look, when the season starts?
Exactly. I mean, the super chat said it there. It was from
Manza.
Deaf by Stereo, saying that you play that against, and no disrespect to the Melbourne opponents, but you play this against. Imagine they played this against Liverpool.
Yeah.
They'd rip you apart, or City. They'd absolutely rip you apart.
You play like this against Crystal Palace, in the next game, we'll see what happens.
Absolutely, yeah. So throw for United here. A mistake by Melbourne victory, but nearly 15 minutes gone. Man United 1-0 down. Melbourne victory. One attack, one goal.
Yeah.
Swift counter-attack. They played it out from the back. Played past a half-attempted press by Manchester United. One ball up the byline.
From their goal kick.
Yep, cuts it back. I mean, it's a training ground goal, really. Yeah. Training ground goals don't necessarily have to be set pieces. They literally, you format that on a training pitch, don't you? Play out from the back, ball up the line, cut it back, goal.
That's literally a set-up play. Yeah,
that is simple.
Yeah. Oh, look.
And again, here's Maguire. Cuts it back and passes it back to Heaton. Now, pass it out from the back. This is meant to be Ten Hag system. No real press there by Melbourne victory. So this is the thing, though. Again, we were talking about when the game started, is they're not going to press us from the front. Yeah. So we're going to have plenty of time on the ball. But sometimes for lesser players or lesser capable players when it comes to the technical ability, time on the ball is their worst enemy.
Yeah.
Because they have to think.
Yeah.
And they have to think about finding a pass. Like when Maguire's got his foot on the ball, he looks so uncomfortable. Because he's thinking, what am I going to do? Where's my next pass? And eventually, keeper.
Yeah.
Give it to keeper.
And they're not confident. That's what it's about. Playing the ball confident, understanding where your teammate's going to go or what you're trying to create. Different types of, effective passes through lines that are going to, cause overloads in certain areas. But there's no just movement. That's the important thing. You need movement from other players as well.
Yeah, it is really static, it must be said. We've got over 1,000 people watching, only 200 odd likes. See if we can get those likes up.
Come on, guys.
Hit a like if you think Maguire's shit. Everyone can click a like on the like button to do that, can't we?
Yeah.
So be sure to smash a like. Let's see if we can get to 500 likes. That's always the benchmark.
Yeah.
And hopefully hitting the like button will spread some positivity to these United players who look, it must be said, way off it.
Way off right now.
Way off it. There has been... That, what's worrying? And again, I might be looking too much into this. We talk about Ralph, the 20-minute against Palace.
Yes.
The 20-minute press.
Yes, yeah.
Are we going to be talking about the 45-minute Ten Hag system?
I
the
hope
45 Ten Hag magic against Liverpool, because this is back to being Man United.
yeah. Or Martial.
Attempts at some intricate passing.
Yeah,
Here's Martial.
he's trying to increase the tempo. He is.
Fred wins it back, gives it to Sancho. Bit of space, but it's really compact in there. Overlapped by Bruno, cuts it back.
Oh,
Scott
Scott!
McTominay. Oh, it's a chance. Corner, get blocked.
Oh, overlap from Bruno. Good little cutback to Scott, and it's deflected, but it goes out. Yeah.
Don't look happy, does he?
Yeah.
Look at this. Bruno just cuts it back. McTominay.
Yeah,
Decent block from the defender. But a little bit better. But
coming into the game a little bit now, tiny
Yeah.
bit. It's not brilliant though.
although, look, if you are those players on the bench that didn't start, you're watching this thinking, I can get into that team.
Yes.
There's no way that I'm going to play that badly.
Yeah,
Zidane, Iqbal, Charlie Savage, bring them on.
Yeah.
You need some ballers in the midfield at the moment.
Scott's just not having a great game.
Corner whipped in by Bruno. It's a rubbish corner.
Corner, Bruno.
Even David De Gea would have got that one.
Yeah.
Marcel.
Yes.
That couldn't have been any more on the
Too
goalkeeper.
easy, yeah.
Out from the back, counter-attacks on once again for Melbourne.
Look, we're just not getting close enough to them quick enough.
Yeah, that is surprising, isn't it? Is that in the last game, we saw that real, as I said, constructed press from that front three.
Yeah.
That is non-existent in this game. Look, it's very lethargic.
Do you think we're missing Rashford because of that? Like
Maybe.
Rashford added that.
Here's Maguire, passes it to Luke Shaw. I mean, maybe, but it's so far, it's the antithesis of what we saw in that first half against Liverpool. It's the complete opposite. It's very much last season. It's, we've got a lot of the ball at the back, and we pass it side to side a bit, but once we get into closing into the final third, there is just so many blue shirts that they panic. They
what
panic.
it is we're leaving, our centre backs 2v2 at that. They're by themselves. The fullbacks are not in the defensive line at all. So we've just got the whole game is being played in their half.
Yeah.
So it's really cramped in terms of space. You've got to move the ball a lot quicker.
Is Alanga chasing the ball down? I mean, maybe that'll be the hope for Ten Hag. We'll think that, Melbourne aren't going to keep this press up forever because they're going to be tired.
Did you see him?
I was about to say that would have been, they were nearly in again from the exact same situation. Yep. Down the United's left-hand side, just ball up the byline.
The defender, the attacker, they just went right past Luke Shaw.
Yeah, right past Luke Shaw. Here he is on the ball once again, Luke Shaw. Pass it inside to Bruno. Bruno's very deep.
Yeah.
He's meant to be the 10, isn't he? He's on the halfway line. Dallo, once again, is really far inside. He's almost in a centre midfield position, looking for an overlap with Sancho. Oh, we've got to carry on running, Dallo. That's the problem. Oh, and it's a pop.
Oh,
no. It's just poor. That is just so poor.
And Fred's not even really taking it back, retained the possession with the tackle.
Yeah, I sympathise with Sancho there because he's got the ball and he's waiting for Dallo to run. He doesn't. He passed it
and then
to
the
him.
pass back is just not with any quality, no concentration, no taking care with the ball. So
yeah, I mean, wow. As 20 minutes go, maybe this is the reality check, Eric. This is what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Here's Luke Shaw, bit of space. See, that's a lazy pass for me. That he's got plenty of room. He could have carried on running into there
and just gained the.
And he
space,
just sort of flick into the box, lazy pass. Hopefully, something will happen. And it's a free kick.
It's not
now
confident. It's not.
It's a lack of confidence past that.
Yeah.
Man. Optimism still.
Gone.
It's only pre-season.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's only pre-season. These games don't mean a huge deal. You can lose all these games and still start hit the ground running against Brighton. But this is meant to be preparation. You're meant to put the good habits in now.
Well, look, sometimes in pre-season, not that I'm saying we're going to lose the game, but sometimes it can be just as beneficial for a manager seeing a poor performance because you get the reality of the situation.
Yes.
You get the reality of, okay, this is really what I'm dealing with. It isn't a false positive test, i.e., we beat Liverpool 4-0.
Yeah.
This is really Man United.
Yes.
This is the real what we were last season.
Yeah.
Here's Bruno, a little bit of pace. Shaw is going for the overlap. Decides not to go with him, passes it back to Fred. Bit of space. Gives it to Dallo. Going to try and put the ball into the box. No. Goes back to Bruno. What are you going to do with it? Forced it. Comes back to Shaw. Martial. Again, it's very tight. It's got to be quick passing to get through that block.
Yeah.
You feel like, don't you, that the opportunity might have been there earlier on. It was already one too many passes.
But, I think Anthony Martial, you can trust him to just reset it, try and control the tempo and start a new attack again.
Here's Shaw.
He came out with the ball and tried to, create something again. So
isn't a ton of height in the box, though, is there? It's not really one for crosses, you would say. So they're certainly going to try and... But I'm happy for them to do this. I'm happy to, like you said, reset. If the space isn't there, don't force it. Wait till the space comes up. Bruno, a bit of space there. Here's Sancho. Once again, gives it to McTominay. No. Tries that crossfield pass again. Dallo, good touch. You're going to cut it back. McTominay. Oof.
A lot more patient. Yeah,
I will take that.
Yep.
I will take that.
I agree.
I will take a bit of patience, wait for the space to open up. They look uncomfortable doing it.
Yeah, yeah. So they do.
They absolutely look uncomfortable doing it.
They do. But this is an improvement. That's an improvement.
Small margins.
Small margins.
Small margins.
It's not good enough.
Abdefax is the latest member of the UV Members Club. Welcome. Be sure to smash a like on the like button as well and subscribe bottom right-hand corner. And a super chat from Zayn Miassi. He's back. Do you hear that smack on the table? That's Zayn Miassi's mum's credit card. Bang.
The heavy wallet.
The Amex, what's it called? The MasterCard Express. Boom. Platinum card on the table. Zayn Miassi's in the chat. He says, back to reality. You can't beat a pub team. How will you cope with Jesus and co? Wow. I'll just say, wait, Zane. Last season, there's Nani on the bench for Melbourne. He's thinking, I don't even need to come on.
No, yeah.
Is that Man United?
He's looking to roast Luke Shaw. He can't wait to get on.
Yeah. This is the thing, Zane. Like, before, we would obviously have a bit of banter, but I can't even go back at Zayn Miassi.
Yeah.
We're shit.
We're rubbish. We're rubbish. And it's good that we've got this reality check now and to get this out of the way now. But I'm expecting for them to change and come into the game. 22 minutes in, so early signs. And if we can have a good spell, maybe, in the next 10 minutes or so, and build our way into the game. But it just doesn't look like they have any clue of what they're meant to be doing. And everything just looks really slow at the moment.
The thing is as well, with we were talking before the game about Martinez coming in and who's going to be his partner, because he's going to be that starting centre-back.
Yeah.
Maguire, if this was an audition, you ain't getting the part, pal.
And they've started him in the right back position because the right centre back position. Sorry, because you're assuming there would be a left centre back partner for him there. Because all last season he featured in the left centre back position. So you can see even in the position that I would deem him to be playing next season, it just doesn't look like he's got the tools for the trade.
Yeah, it's very poor.
Here you go.
Bruno was just watching.
Yeah,
play as opposed to participating
enough, in it. Bruno, come on.
Yeah, if you were Ten Hag, you'd be asking questions to Varane. How injured are you?
Yeah.
Bailly, come on.
Bailly, yeah. Look, Maguire's giving away a foul again, going out to players, trying to make...
If you were Eric Bailly, and look, the club's actively looking for offers or hoping for offers and all that kind of stuff, you would think, you'd be watching the game thinking, man, I came on against Liverpool, I set up a goal, I kept a clean sheet, and you're looking at the captain going, I'm better than that. I am better than that.
Yeah, what more can I do?
Yeah.
What do you think? I'm hearing maybe Koulibaly goes and that opens opportunity. They're looking for that type of centre-back that's very aggressive, got a bit more of a rounded game, and he could be on his way if he doesn't get the starts that he's been promised multiple times now under different managers.
Red Baron with a super chat says, how will Zayn deal with his mum shouting at him tonight? I don't know. Respectfully, because you should always respect your parents.
Yep, yes,
Absolutely.
That's a good point.
Always be respectful.
That's a good point.
I would never not to my parents. I did have, we'll wait for this attack to play out because Sancho passed it through. Bruno Fernandes is in. Good save by the goalkeeper, that actually. That's better though.
Yes.
Stretch the lines a little bit. Jadon Sancho runs at the Melbourne players a little bit. Through ball to Bruno Fernandes. Strikes it well. Keeper makes a good save. Hopefully that's United growing into the game a little bit more. It must be said though, out of a poor bunch this half, Sancho has looked bright.
Yeah.
That is a good save by the goalkeeper. Does well. Sancho does look lively. Does look like he is trying to make things happen.
No, yeah, we still have quality players. Bruno's not been playing great. Lost the ball a bit rash a couple times, but he's still a quality player. He's so productive in that final third. He will try and make runs. He will try and find passes. And then you got Sancho, who's very creative. He has quality on the ball. Just being patient there, Bruno. That's good.
Slayer with a comment says, guys, got to stop blaming Maguire for everything. Well, appreciate the chat as always, Slayer. It's about opinions. I wouldn't say that goal you would blame solely on Maguire because there's faults leading up to it. There's faults you would saying the press isn't good enough, the initial pass up the line isn't good enough. But Maguire's part of that is very, very clear to see in that it was slow.
Exactly. Yeah,
it was slow.
We're not blaming Maguire for everything. It's just what he could add to that play there. He just doesn't have the quality. That scenario could happen many a time, and he just wouldn't be able to, recover in time. It's very clear to see in that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. United, again, having more of the ball. I mean, Melbourne will be happy. Absolutely. I can't believe they'll be up. But, yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. Again, we're assuming we're going to see complete changes at halftime. Probably maybe not the goalkeeper. Here's Martial. Goes past a few defenders. Has a shot. Blocked. Was that a hand? No. The referee's saying no. I thought that might have hit a hand.
It may potentially, yeah.
There's no VAR in the friendlies.
Yeah.
Fred with a forward pass to Martial.
What do you think? We're coming into the game now a bit more.
A little bit more, yeah. I would say that Sancho looks bright. Martial, once he's been given the ball, actually, to be fair, looks pretty sharp. Here's Sancho once again. Bruno tries the ball over the top, cut it back. To be fair, that was a very difficult pass.
Yeah.
Because Bruno has done him no favours with that chip.
Yeah.
He's chipped it over the defence. If it comes off, it looks good, but it lands nearly by the line.
Yeah. I mean,
Fred tries
difficult technique, and if you play it quicker, the 1-2 pass, maybe you get through on the ground. So maybe something to look at. I mean, if this is a quicker 1-2, you can maybe just.
Does look bright, Sancho, doesn't it?
Look, Nelly makes him drop. Just a quick 1-2, a snappy one. But
he's asking a lot.
Yeah,
it's overhit.
Yeah,
and Bruno knows it's overhit. And again, going back to last season, Bruno did a lot of stuff like that, which you would go, oh, if it pays off. And that's the thing with Bruno, I know, is he'll do that.
Low percentage passes.
Game. Yeah, and then but if it comes off, you get the goal, and that's great. But in instances like that,
look,
in
he's
again.
been caught out again. Oh,
it's offside, but it'll be interesting. The Melbourne player saying no. Maguire stepped up. The linesman's give it offside. It'll be fascinating to see if it is, or if Maguire once again. Ten Hag does not look happy.
Yeah, it's irresponsible, man. It's
he tried it in that goal again. Going back to the goal, he tried to step up. It didn't work, and gets away with it then. But
I'm sorry for whoever gave the super chat. I can't be, it's just, what I'm seeing from him is just not good enough. You've got to be responsible with this. You're the captain. Organise that back line better.
Yeah, I mean,
it is offside, so he's done his job.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the
It'll be
truth
interesting
of
if it was actually offside.
Exactly.
That's the key thing. But
True.
To be fair, even if you're a striker in that situation, you were offside that time, or you were given offside that time. You know in the back of your mind, I tell you what, I've got him.
Yeah, and I'm free. I was free here. What have I done wrong? Where did I need to position myself to be away from him, but just on side now?
If you were that striker and you saw that first goal, you would say, look, I can give myself half a yard. I've got no excuse to be offside with this guy because I'll beat him for pace.
Yeah.
I will absolutely.
And I'm free. He's not marking me tight enough. He doesn't really know where I am. I just need to stay with onside and position myself a bit more awkward where I ask questions of him.
Exactly. Now, like you said, United are coming into the game a little bit more.
Yes, they are.
Gilt-edged chances probably would be the Bruno one. Mm-hmm. I mean, Melbourne haven't really had any chances really since their goal. Crossfield pass by Fred. Eventually gets to Dalot. Here's Sancho once again.
Yeah, Sancho sharp. Does
look sharp, doesn't he? Does look up for it. You can see also as well why Ten Hag really wants a right back, because you need that. That's a good pass by Sancho. Dalot cuts it back. Oh, it's bouncing up in the box and cleared by Melbourne. But you can see, I think, why Ten Hag's like, I want a good right back, because there's a relationship to be made there. Mm-hmm. Sancho looks sharp. I think a couple of times he would have hoped that Dalot would have made some more overlaps, and actually participated a little bit more.
I do. You know what? Dalot's movement's been all right, Against Liverpool, even here, he's been getting in a couple of times with those underlaps.
There he is. Here's Dalot.
Yeah.
And it's a quarter. But again, starts from a Sancho pass that, again, does look really sharp.
Yeah. He's definitely coming into the season early. Early signs is very good from him. I mean,
on the right-hand side as well.
Yeah, a big surprise for me. I thought, we saw a lot of him feature on the left side last season, but on the right side, very creative, looking for players, coming inside, creative, asking questions of defenders, taking them on 1v1s.
Short corner by Shaw to Sancho. Here's Fred, puts the ball in the box. That was a good cross, headed away. But now Melbourne counter-attack again through the legs with that Bruno. And once again, it's down the United left-hand side. See if Melbourne can do another counter-attack. Looks like we've got bodies back.
It's good enough.
Through pass again.
Well done, Lindelof.
I mean, he's 2v1.
Yeah,
he's done okay.
Fred's
back. Got bodies back once again. It's wild that it's just one pass. One through pass, and then they're in. Lindelof did well. He was in a really awkward position because he was actually in like a left-back position.
Yeah.
Was 2v1, managed to just about deal with it. He's on the other side of the pitch. Look, he's over where the right back is.
Right back.
They've sort of... The back line at the moment has Shaw at right back, Maguire as a centre back, Dalot was right back.
Dalot and Maguire centre backs. Lindelof was the left back.
Lindelof's the left back. I don't know what's happened.
Yeah.
They just completely moved. Oh my goodness. Ivan Moy says, anybody know what Luke Shaw offers to this team? Well, Shaw's on the ball right now. I was about to say to you, Marcel, actually, that Alanga has had another quiet half. But to be fair, that left-hand side has had a really quiet half.
You know, Ten Hag was talking about weapons on the left side and a strong left side. That happens when you have maybe Luke Shaw and Rashford. I think they've linked up well under different managers previously. But, you know, with the combination of Luke Shaw and like the Super Chat says, I don't know what he offers, if I'm honest, in terms of modern fullback. And aspects of a modern fullback. It's when Ten Hag was talking about Malacia defensively first and being able to help out in the offensive areas and having attacking qualities. But Luke Shaw's not really showing huge signs of that right now, especially defensively, which is what you want to be first as a fullback.
Again, if you're Malacia and you're on the bench, you'll be saying, I'll tell you what, I can get into this side.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely, I can get into this side. We've got nearly 1,200 people watching. Nearly 400 likes. We can get to 500. Once we get to 500, that's the benchmark. Then we're done. Then we're sorted. That's what we're aiming for.
A goal. If we score a goal, that's got to be at least another 400 likes, guys. If we score a goal, considering the performance, that's another 400 likes.
Definitely more space on that right-hand side, though, now. You're seeing Dalot's getting a bit more freedom. Sancho, again, looks sharp. It's quite compact over on the left. Maybe that's just why the left, we haven't seen much of it, is because it is quite compact over on that side. But it doesn't feel like, you know, Alanga and Shaw have that, you know, relationship.
No, definitely not. Alanga's looking out of sorts a little bit, and you know, I've seen him training. Well, he's young, so they're gonna come.
He was on fire in those training videos, wasn't he?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
shirt off, top
sharp.
bins.
Yeah, exactly. So I was hoping to see a little glimpse of that. But young players, you know, they you know, sometimes they have very good spells, and he's had good spells for us last season. But then they're very inconsistent, and it looks like that's what we could be seeing, especially for the two little early signs that we've seen him in the pre-season tour. Fred just had a shot there with his right foot. We was talking about no right foot, just going up in there.
We're going to be spoiled in a way because I reckon there's going to be games in the season where we wish we could see, you know, 11 subs. Like we would in this second half when it comes up, because...
Who would you like to see come on from what you've seen now? Who could come on and add something to this game?
Rashford,
yes,
definitely.
Yeah.
You would say in that left role, definitely a point to prove.
Yes.
After that first game as well, he missed a sitter in that first game against Liverpool, so definitely Rashford. Who else? Garnacho, or maybe someone like Garnacho. But again, how would he come on?
Bruno might need to go. I'm my favourite player, but I would like to see Donny, see if he could add something. Yeah.
Maybe Donny. Again, I'd want to see Charlie Savage and Zidane Iqbal.
Good point.
See if they can, you know, because the people like Fred and McTominay are having a lot of the ball in those sort of deeper roles. So why not? Why not have players that maybe are a bit more technical about them? That's a good pass by Fred.
Yeah.
Trying to break the lines a little bit. Here's Martial.
Oh, he's still got
He's got the ball stuck to his feet.
Yeah.
He can do that. I mean, that's the first goal against Liverpool that he did, right?
Yeah.
You know, you know, welcome to Manchester. The ball does stick to his feet. He does play in those tight sort of pockets.
You know, he's finding that pocket. That's why, you know, it's a connection between two players. It has to be, you know, you see in the movement and delivering the pass, you know. So he's found the pocket and the pass comes into him, and he is effective in connecting play.
Super chat from Shuvam says, Erik ten Hag is an elite coach, but he's not a miracle worker. Sometimes a player isn't good enough, and that applies for Maguire and McTominay.
Yep. Unfortunately, I fully agree with you. I mean, somebody else... And McTominay's had key chances. He's had a couple moments where he is available for the
cut
back.
Is Sancho... Ooh.
Yeah.
Block again.
1,000 bodies in the block and in the box, you know. There's two banks of four, this low block system, difficult to really be, and you need to be like a comfortable, well-established side, understand where you're trying to create space, where you're trying to pull the opposition to create opportunities. And we've created a few. It's just a little bit slow. It needs to be quicker.
It does. Here's the corner. Luke Shaw over it, delivers.
Maguire
with the header, roof of the net.
That's meant to be a feature of his game, you know, heading. So
the set piece curse continues at Manchester United.
Please, Eriksen, we're waiting for you, my friend.
Honestly, when Christian Eriksen's in, he's over corners and he's over free kicks. I mean, again, it's also dependent on people being able to, you know, head it into the net. With Maguire, I mean, that is a header whereby he's almost headed with the back of his head.
Yeah. And then when you let go of the likes of McTominay, who else is there when you think physical presence?
Yeah.
You know, we had Ibrahimovic, Lukaku, you know, these kind of players.
Well, that was a staple of United under Mourinho, wasn't it? As you had all these tall players.
Yeah. Matic, you know.
Pogba.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have the likes of that. We're Fred now. And if you're not really trusting McTominay, you know what I was thinking? McTominay in centre back. You know, at some stage
plays that for Scotland, doesn't he?
I was thinking McTominay centre back if you're getting rid of the likes of Maguire.
Cross into the box.
Not
by
a starting
Melbourne.
centre back, obviously. By the way,
Heads it away. Yeah, we've got enough of them.
Yeah.
Exactly. Here's Elanga. Ball goes out.
Did he just give that away technically? Because he touched it.
I don't know.
Well.
I don't know. I think Shaw cleared it. I'm not sure.
Oh, sure. Okay, yeah.
But still, I mean, about 10 minutes to go in
not
this
good
first
signs.
half, and he's not been great. Marcel.
What does Ten Hag say to the players? You're coming in, or was it just a complete switch swap? So
I think he swaps everyone.
Swaps everything. Yeah.
Apart from Heaton. I mean, who's to say? Maybe they'll bring on one of the young goalkeepers. There's two on the bench. There's Nathan Bishop and Kovar.
Who would you like to keep on? If you was the man?
None of them. Maybe you'd keep on Sancho, but I don't think he will. I think he changes everyone. But you know, no great loss.
Yeah. No, you're right. I would have said Sancho for sure, or Martial, just because I don't know one of the younger forwards. I can't really trust them to be maybe as effective as Martial in the forward line, connecting players and dropping deep.
Well, maybe that's why Rashford didn't start today. Because if you think about it this way, what happened in the last game? He changed everyone at half-time. We didn't have a striker. We had to play Ahmad up front.
Not good enough.
So maybe he's thinking, right, I know I'm going to change everyone at half-time. Rashford's the other striker.
Yeah.
So Rashford will be up front in the second half.
Good point.
That's how you get on Garnacho. That's how you get on the other players, the wider players, right? That didn't come on last time. So I think Rashford will come on to replace Martial.
Yep.
I think Garnacho will come on to replace Elanga. Donny will be the 10. Right-hand side, I mean, Palestri, Facundo.
Yeah.
I reckon that's what we'll see. The two centre midfielders, you'd hope to see Savage and Iqbal again.
Yep.
Left back, Malacia. Centre back, Bailly. And then, I don't know if it'll be Tellez again. I mean, Will Fish came out to play
I think
centre
that team
back.
plays better, you know.
Maybe Will Fish comes on as the centre back. That's the reason he went out there.
Yeah.
Right back, we have Wan-Bissaka. I think that would be the changes.
Poor cross
I would
again
make.
by Bruno. Fred with a volley. This time
Goes
left
over the bar.
foot, same result.
So yeah, I think Rashford comes on as the striker in the second half, and we see a bit of Garnacho. He's not happy. He's like, he literally just went, okay,
he's not happy.
okay, this is the reality, Eric. This is what you've moved to.
Yeah.
Don't let the Liverpool result fool you. And that's why we always say it's only pre-season. Because make no mistake, if we play like this against Brighton, first game of the season, I know Brighton have lost players this summer. I know they've lost Basuma. I know they're probably going to lose Kukurea to City. Zinchenko's going to Arsenal. It's a good move for both.
Yeah, it is,
Good move for both.
Definitely an upgrade in terms of starting for Zinchenko. And Kukurea is a good player.
Yeah, especially in a Pep system. You can see it, can't you? You can absolutely see it. But yeah, Brighton will be a bit weaker, but still make a mistake. You play like this against Brighton, you're asking for it.
Listen, we were lucky to beat them at home.
Yeah,
it was a 10-men red card that on Elanga that wasn't really a red card. They obviously took time to check the VAR for it, and they played well. Potter set them up very well, and then away, we all know what happened away. So Potter makes a good account of himself and sets up teams very well. So you need to know what you're doing. Okay, here's a good little
1-2 by Elanga. Fred blocked once again. Certainly trying to do something in the wide areas. It's in these positions, Marcel, that I worry because sort of centrally, that's got to be offside. Yeah, he's offside.
You sure just not even bothered or focused on the play as concentrating on the play.
But in those sort of central positions where you have to have a little bit of creative nous to pass it into the box, we just look very devoid of any ideas. Yeah,
you're looking at. That's why I want to know. That's why I would like to see Donny. Donny understands the next pass before the next pass understands. It's the next pass. And when you have a player like that already knows his next pass, knows where he needs to be, and then looks for the next position for the next phase of play, it just quickens everything.
This is why he's looking to improve the midfield so much as well. Yeah. Because in games like this, where you do have a lot of the ball, but you need to be able to find a difficult pass, that's where you want Frankie de Jong. Mm-hmm. That's where you want Christian Eriksen, because they find it.
Yes.
Fred and McTominay don't find it.
Yep. And they take the onus, they take the responsibility on to find these areas in the pitch where they can create things.
Bruno tries that crossfield pass has been attempted at least 5 or 6 times. Not say it hasn't worked. It's Sancho crossed it into the box, headed out. thing is as well, isn't it? When you're doing those kind of crosses from deep into the box and the people in the box are Martial and Alanga, it's got to be on their head.
Yep.
You know, here is
Quality.
Martial.
We haven't got fantastic quality in terms of...
Maguire, pass it behind Shaw.
Yeah.
Shaw, Alanga, ball into the box. That's a good
cross.
That was a good cross by Alanga. That's one of the ones I'm talking about where it's on the head of Martial. He'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah.
Because that was half a chance. But we're about 4 minutes left till half time.
What do you think about Martial's heading game? Any thoughts on it? Is he really a great
before,
header?
Hasn't he? I think he scored headers before.
Yeah, he's mistimed that one, but you don't see him as a prolific heading.
No. He'd want the ball to feet a lot because again, the ball sticks to his feet. Maguire does well
good
there.
Come in, good judging. Interception.
There are some gaps forming now for United. The
Yeah.
concern would be that we'll wait until nearly half-time to make some gaps against Melbourne. That would be the worry.
They're coming out of their shape a bit more.
Yeah, here's Sancho. Bit of space. Shaw. Again, it's just... those
very
points
tight.
is too slow.
Yeah.
That's where it's too slow.
It's too slow and there was no one out wide. Both
No.
left midfielder and left back are right next to each other.
Exactly. Here's Lindelof. Also at half-time, by the way, guys, we'll play one of my favourite games that I do at half-time, which is, I don't know what it's called, either or. So you'll say, like, I don't know, Bourbon or...
Oh!
It's a deflected goal. I was distracted, and it's 1-1. I was talking about biscuits.
Yeah. Scott
I was talking
McTominay.
about biscuits, but it's 1-1. It's McTominay. It's deflected. I'm not sure United totally deserve it.
Yeah, we don't.
But it's a deflected goal. You feel a bit bad for Melbourne, actually.
Yeah.
McTominay has a strike. It loops over the goalkeeper and it's in. Manchester United are level. It's 1-1. Another look here. McTominay, it's poor defending.
It's poor defending.
It's a really sloppy
I think it
goal.
deflects off Sancho, It could be Sancho's goal.
McTominay tries to force a pass. The centre-back passes it right back to McTominay. I don't know who that comes off. It might be Martial. Let's have another look here. Who's it come off? I think it is Martial.
It might be Martial or Sancho.
It might be a Martial goal. But we take it. It's 1-1. Again, not totally deserved by Manchester United, it must be said. But we're going at half-time level.
It's so important. It's so important when you're playing against a low block to have a competent six that can, play disguised passes and break lines and even be a threat from distance. And I don't think we have that in quantities.
And make no mistake, we got that goal from a defensive error.
Yeah,
it was a forced pass by McTominay. Centre back reads it fine and then just gave him the ball back. And you can't even credit a press. Against Liverpool, when their defenders were making mistakes, you said, well, we were pressing them, we forced them into errors. That was just bad pass.
Yeah.
It's just a bad pass.
Yeah. There's not much to take from that. Very underwhelming so far. I'll be honest, Owen.
But we'll take it. But like I said, maybe if I talk about biscuits again, we'll score.
Yeah.
But,
either or.
Yeah, either or. At half-time, we'll play either or. And what that is in the live chat, you'll say, for instance, bourbon or custard cream. And then we have to debate which one is better.
Yeah.
We say, or it can be anything. Crisps.
I just had custard creams yesterday.
Yeah, you can do anything. It can be, crisps, TV shows, films. I would say music artists. I might know them.
Yeah.
But
Custard
if not,
creams
you
with
can,
warm milk.
If not, you can...
warm milk, warm water. No?
Is that a flex thing again?
That's a flex thing again. Yeah.
Oh, right. I was going to say, that's not what you're doing,
No
is it?
way.
No, I was going to say. I was giving you a death stare there. I was like, we talked about that.
I'm just thinking about, we talked about biscuits before. Now there's plenty of biscuits to choose on.
Yeah, we'll play that at half-time. Here's
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes, Harry Maguire. It's now 1-1. We're in the last minute of this first half before we guess Ten Hag makes some changes. Sancho, again, looks lively. Cuts it back. Bruno Fernandes going to try and get the ball into the box. Ooh, almost on Martial's head. Headed clear. There is a bit more impetus by United, certainly, in this in the closing stages of this first half. But making a mistake, Ten Hag will still not be happy with what he saw for, say, the first 40 minutes.
This is meant to be the first team. Delo's in, though, again.
Delo's in. Martial. It's 2-1. They've woke up. Anthony Martial makes it 2-1 to Manchester United. Again, a little bit fortunate, but a good build-up, you would say. Dalot gets the ball in, cuts it back. A little bit of a deflection comes back to Anthony Martial, who slots it away. 2-2 for Martial.
Yeah, good, well-driven pass from Maguire into Sancho. That connection between Sancho and the understanding and the timing of runs from Dalot
He looks
very
sharp,
good.
Sancho.
Yeah.
He does look sharp. It's cut back. It's actually an assist for Elanga.
Yeah, Langa, yeah.
It's actually an assist.
Did it look deliberate? Did it look deliberate?
It definitely puts it on, doesn't he? Definitely sort of just
helps
it on there, yeah. Dalot cuts it back.
That right side is the stronger side, funny enough, Ten Hag.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
That the right-hand side looks to be a little bit stronger there.
Yeah.
But another goal for Anthony Martial, 2-2 in pre-season. Anthony Elanga gets an assist. Again, right-hand side does look quite sharp. Sancho looks sharp. When Dalot's making those runs, you would maybe say you want him to see him make them a bit more often. But when he's making those runs, it looks positive. But half-time, who would have thought, Marcel? We're winning.
Yes.
Again.
Yes.
Again.
Still, but if we're honest, still underwhelming.
Yes. You can't ignore what we saw for 40 minutes there.
Yeah, quality tells, and we clearly have the more quality out of the two sides, but it's very, very underwhelming. It's not good enough at all. But that combination on that right-hand side looks like it's something to definitely have a look at and is exciting. But, the movement from Dalot is definitely there. He's impressed me this half.
Yeah, so there it is, half-time, Manchester United 2, Melbourne victory 1. Melbourne scored early on with a very swift counter-attack. Poor defending by Manchester United, to be honest, for that goal. United took a while to sort of grow into that game. Definitely didn't see the sort of things we saw against Liverpool in terms of the high-intensity pressing from the front. Difficult, I know, because Melbourne didn't really have a lot of the ball in those positions. But... some sort of sloppy passing, somewhat similar to what we saw last season, to be honest, under Manchester United. But as the half went on, particularly those final, 10 minutes, would you say?
Yeah.
We saw a bit more space forming. The game became a bit more stretched. Certainly Melbourne became a bit more stretched. Right-hand side, lots of space there. Jadon Sancho looked sharp. Diogo Dalot making some good overlaps. Bruno Fernandes being lively, you would say.
Yeah.
Like you said, still underwhelming,
Yeah.
I would say in parts. You can't ignore what you just saw. But you would say, again, clinical, certainly from United, because I can think of maybe 3 gilt-edged chances we've had in that half. The Bruno one, which was a good save from the goalkeeper. Actually, two
Scott McTominay blocks.
Yeah, 2 real, actually, gilt-edged chances, because the McTominay goal is just a big deflection. Defensive error by Melbourne.
Yeah.
The defender passes it to McTominay. He has a shot, bounces off the back of Martial. So Martial might actually have 2 goals. The second goal was much better. Nice little overlap from Dalot, cuts it back. Elanga helps it on to Martial, who sets it in there. What do you think Ten Hag will think of that? Will he must be still frustrated with what parts that he saw. If he's saying he saw mistakes against Liverpool, what does he think after that first half?
Oh, plenty of mistakes. I mean, we're not retaining the ball well enough. We're not patient enough. Bruno's been a bit rash and a bit careless at times with the football. A lot more to be done, and the tempo needs to be quicker. That left-hand side is a huge issue. I mean, Elanga has been underwhelming. Luke Shaw, very underwhelming. Maguire, underwhelming. Scott has scored, but, could offer a lot more in terms of positionally and passing through the thirds, but I don't know. He's a very meticulous manager, so I guess and it's early stages, so he's going to just change the squad and see if they can produce. And we're in a leading position.
Yeah, I mean, there's the positives and negatives, certainly. By the way, we're just seeing some highlights of Sir Alex Ferguson's last season at United, and I just get so depressed watching these.
I'm just looking at proper footballers.
I know. It started off with Rooney doing a crossfield pass, and I saw that, I went, that is a heck of a pass. That's such a good pass. It is, honestly. It's like, whenever you watch Premier League years, 9 times out of 10, it's United winning, right?
Yeah.
And you watch it and you go, oh, this is the goal, isn't it? The Van Persie volley. Oh, my God.
From a Rooney pass. Straight onto another world-class striker that Sir Alex brings at the right time, just because he knows he needs him. Van Persie, whoosh.
It's just, we're just so far off.
We're nowhere near
It's
this.
only when you see it again that you go, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like miles off it.
But that's this is a counter-attacking kind of style, We're our DNA is this. We're asking our players now to play very quickly against people that just want to camp outside the box. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
That's the feature of us last season even, and then the season before that we scored so many goals through a counter-attacking, sharp, quick counter-attack. Now we're asking for clever players to retain the ball, ask a lot of questions from, the opposition in terms of defensively, and then play the passes. So it's a bit different and it's going to take time. So
yes. So second half, we're expecting to see, we would think, at least 10.
Yeah.
At least 10 subs. So I would say that my predicted subs, Marcel, as Rashford to be the striker to replace Martial.
Yeah, great point.
Left-hand side, I would say probably Garnacho to replace...
Interesting. Left side,
Alanga.
left-footed, Ryan Giggs style?
I don't know. But I'm just thinking of who's on the bench.
I'm just throwing the question.
Yeah. I'm thinking he'll replace Garnacho. 10, or in the position to replace Bruno, you would think Donny.
Yeah, please.
Right-hand side to replace Sancho. I mean, who's on the... Palestri, Facundo.
Yeah.
Replacing Fred and Scott McTominay, you would think it would be the same that replaced him against Liverpool, that being Zidane.
They need to mix and match that, I think. One senior player with a youth one, they need to mix that at one point.
Maybe it's a bit too much.
Yeah.
But Charlie Savage and Zidane Iqbal to replace Fred and McTominay. Left back, Malacia to replace Luke Shaw, you would think. Replacing the centre-backs, you would think that Bailly comes on.
Yep.
And then this is the interesting one. Last time it was Alex Telles, but Will Fish did come on tour because we were so short at centre-back, which is ironic because we've got so many centre-backs. How are we short on tour?
We're trying to get rid of two of them, maybe in Tuanzebe and Phil Jones, potentially.
Yeah.
Why he's not starting Eric Bailly or why he won't... Well, he's coming on in the second half,
Yeah. So you would think maybe Will Fish comes on, or it might be Telles once again, and then right back you would think Wan-Bissaka replaces Diogo Dalot. That would make a lot of sense, but we'll wait and see. You could have people like Ethan Laird come on.
I was going to say, who did you say as right back?
Wan-Bissaka.
Right.
But you never know. You could see Laird come on. You could see Hannibal come on. There's people like Chong's on the bench as well. So there are other people. And we haven't mentioned Ahmad, who I thought really struggled in the last game when he came on.
He did.
So I don't know if he...
What do you think about the careers of Ahmad and Chong? What do you think in terms of prospects, any potential features in the Premier League or in the Cup games, Europa League?
I mean, I know Chong have a bit of a difficult thing with injury, I think. Okay. But I would say... Yeah, he probably got... I think a permanent move is where he's probably looking at now. Ahmad, I think, needs another loan. Look, he was unlucky almost with loans last year because he was meant to go to Feyenoord, got an knee injury. Yeah. That was in the summer, didn't happen. Yeah. Then he went to Rangers, and I think people thought, okay, that's a decent level of football and a decent side. But then they had the European run. You don't change the side for that.
Yeah.
He scored on his debut for Rangers, but then just didn't really play the games in the Scottish Premier League, which is unfortunate. So I think he needs another loan, certainly, and I think he needs to maybe physically develop a little bit more.
Yes.
Because a couple of times we've seen him against young boys in the Champions League last season and particularly against Liverpool in the last game. He just looks like he's too easily bullied on the ball. And if you're going to be a wide player, you're going to get pure physicality against you, aren't you?
In the Premier League for sure. And he needs to maybe just, gain that man strength. And develop
man strength.
I call it that.
Man strength.
I call it that because once you hit 23, 24, you're just more. You understand, where to put your body, all those kind of clever physical elements of the game, and you're more used to being, challenged against, senior players. When you're playing in the under 23s and things of that nature, you're not really used to playing against adults, men that are very well disciplined and are going to be more confident and dominant in the physical collision. So he needs to, another good loan would suit him, I think, way more than playing for us. But, Facundo seems a bit more ready out of, the two there in wide areas. And Elanga is a bit underwhelming at the moment.
Got an assist.
Yeah, he did.
But didn't really do anything else. In that game.
Who will start as left back? Telles? Is that...
Malacia.
Yeah, that's good.
Malacia, hopefully gets a bit more involved. He looked a bit sheepish in that last game against Liverpool, and maybe the pressure got to him a little bit. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that will certainly be interesting. But guys, also, since it is halftime, smash a like on the like button. We've got nearly 1,500 people watching. We hit 500 likes. Let's see if we can get 600.
Yes.
And be sure to subscribe as well.
We're winning now.
Exactly. We can definitely get to 600. We're only 70 away from 600. So if you haven't already, hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. And also, if you want to join the UV Members Club, you can do so by clicking the link in the video description. Also, the pinned comment in the live chat as well. You get your badges, you get your emojis. Let's see if we can get the live chat filled with feeling emojis from the UV members that are in there at the moment. You also get exclusive members-only video content, such as recently a game of Star Wars Guess Who with Flex and myself. That was fun. We do Q&As in the future. I'm going to be eating Jamaican and Nigerian food.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
That is going to be fun. And to be honest, I'm a very picky eater.
Spice?
Really picky.
Handle spice?
No chance.
Oh, wow.
No chance. If I'm getting a curry, it's korma.
Oh, I'm tuning in.
Getting a korma. And you know what? People, if you go out for a curry with a group of people, and then you go, I'll have a korma, you can feel the looks. You can feel the looks around the table of people going, turn the kormas.
What's that? Yeah.
And do you know what the joke is? When you order a korma and everyone goes, oh, you're getting a korma, whatever, they're the same people. 20 minutes later, they're going, can I have a bit of that? Because mine's too spicy, mine's too hot. And I go, no, you can't have any of that. Because I ordered it. It's my food. You wouldn't do that at any other restaurant, would you? Imagine we go out for something to eat, and then I don't know where it would go, where we've gone to. Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
And I've ordered lasagna, you've ordered pasta. I can't just go, can I have some of your pasta?
It's a different style of cuisine, you know. There's a nice Indian restaurant in Manchester, and you know the way they lay it out on the plates. It's like sharing in the middle. All the different, you know, curries are there, rice, all these kind of things. It's a different style of cuisine. The naan bread. So of course I want some after I finish mine and mine's hot.
Yeah, well that's your fault. That's your.
You're not gonna share me, Owen. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's yours. It's your.
Wow.
No.
Wow. When you're trying the different types of cuisine, the Nigerian and Caribbean food, you're going to have other people want to share it.
Well, yeah, obviously.
You're going to make sure you have water with you, just in case, some milk.
If we go out for a meal, I've made my order. Yeah. You've chosen not to order what I have ordered. Why should I give you some of mine?
But mine's spicy or whatever. I've enjoyed mine.
That's your choice.
I'm sharing with you now. You can have some of this.
You want some of mine because deep down you don't like the spice that you've ordered.
No. I like the spice. I just would like a little bit of.
People say that and then they go, "Can I have a bit of yours? Mine's too hot." And I go, "Well, that's your fault."
Yeah. True.
Live with your choices, people.
True. But you got to change, and it's good for the immune system. A bit of spice, and you know. I want to see this. I'm tuning in now, can't I? I want to see this now.
Victor's taking the mick. He says, "Oh, and is KFC too spicy for you?" You laugh, but sometimes I've had like popcorn chicken that I put too many in at once, and you go, "It's crept up on me a little bit."
Either or, hot or very hot. No, that's the very.
Still no.
Yeah, so it's like what? No.
No.
What can I do there? Chicken,
we went to the first time
KFC or
the first time I came to UVHQ.
Yeah.
Me, Flex, and Alexis, who Flex does complex with, we went to Nando's.
Yeah.
Right?
What'd you get?
Usually, like the lowest, which is what, lime.
Wow. Did they even put anything on it?
Yeah, they put something on it for taste, I think.
Yeah.
But I went with medium that day.
Yeah.
And even that, I was sitting there. I didn't want to make a big scene of it. But I would be lying if I wasn't like, at points, this is getting a little bit hot. I had the spicy rice.
Did you offer some to someone else because you didn't like your
No. But I had the tissues there next to me.
Next to you. A Sprite.
You know what I mean?
Bottomless drink.
Yeah, of course. Of course, I was I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
That was just a stop for me. So, yeah, no chance. But you said, okay, then, either or.
Yeah.
KFC or... I mean, thinking of other like proper like fast food places there, aren't you? KFC or McDonald's, that's a classic.
Yeah. But I've seen that they've got like a McSpicy something now. I'm not going
with that.
Yeah,
come on.
I'm not tried any of these meals.
Yeah. But yeah, get your either ors then. We'll play that.
Yeah.
Gary says, Owen, tell your father to stay far away from Sancho's name. What a player we have. I actually spoke to my dad yesterday or the day before. And
what's this thought process now in terms of?
He said, "I'll wait when it comes to a shirt because I want to see who the new signings are." And I went, "No, no, you are not waiting to see who these new signings are. You're not getting a new signing on the back of your shirt. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you can't.
You're not going to get Christian Eriksen on the back of you. He's been through enough. You don't need that kind of curse on you. Come on, man."
Yeah.
So I've said, no, stay away. McTominay, get it on the back. Have that. That's fine. I don't want to get in Frankie de Jong or Sandro Martinez. They'll never play again. No chance.
Maguire.
Snickers or Mars? There you go. There's one from Saltfish Patty. Snickers or Mars?
Wow. I think straight away to the celebrations box.
Yeah. Well, if you had a bar of each in your hand, if I said Snickers or a Mars bar, what would you take?
Mars.
Yes, that's the correct answer. I don't like Snickers.
I do. When I'm playing games or whatever, matches, have that at half time.
Really?
Yeah.
You have a bar of chocolate at half time?
Yeah, or before the game.
Have an energy drink, man.
Yeah, true. But water, I prefer water than the energy drinks.
I used to, when I was playing when I was younger, you remember like those shot things were really popular at the time? Yeah. There's like Red Bull shots, or they were like Lucozade ones. They were vile. Yeah. They were so disgusting.
Do you remember the Lucozade tablets as well? The energy glucose tablets?
Yeah, they used to come in a thing like that.
Yeah.
I remember having those Lucozade shots. They tasted, they were clear, weren't they? They were clear, and I don't know how much caffeine they had in them. I don't even know if they worked, but they were horrible. Absolutely horrible.
The glucose tablets were all right.
The Red Bull one was nice because it tasted just like Red Bull. And if you like the taste of Red Bull, that's fine. Yeah. But the Lucozade ones, oh my God. And you get jittery.
Yeah. It's just way too much, but it helps.
It's all right if you're out pitch as well, because you're running.
Exactly,
it up. If you're a keeper that's having a quiet game, the amount of pacing I was doing in my area, man, I was back and forth.
But it's good. You're
off my line.
alert. You're alert now.
Yeah. Trey says, brother out here looking like Pop Smoke. What does that mean?
Oh, Pop Smoke's an artist, and he's got a similar braid style to me. So,
okay.
I guess appreciate. Thank you very much.
I mean, as if I was gonna know.
Yeah.
Alk says tea or coffee.
Oh, coffee all day.
Yeah.
I do like a tea with the biscuit, like we was talking about, but coffee gets you up in the morning, a little bit of energy. That's why I really have these things for. Anyway,
How'd you take it? The coffee.
I do prefer black, but
yes, right answer.
Yeah, I do prefer black. I'm not gonna lie, but 1 or 2 sugars, brown sugar.
Yeah, it's always black coffee. Before, to be fair, a lot of the time when we're doing the morning shows here from the UVHQ, I always have a black coffee before we start.
Yeah.
The only problem is if you get like a black coffee from say like a Starbucks, how hot is that?
Yeah.
And it takes ages.
Yeah.
And if you're traveling in a car with it, I mean, that is like serious damage you can do to yourself.
Yeah.
You ever had that and it spills on? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Boiling.
Do you know what? I like chocolate mocha as well, though. So it's coffee with a bit of chocolate in there.
Yeah.
But you got to just give it time to cool down, to be honest with you. Or get one of those holders, the little holders that they give you.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Batman or Iron Man? That's from a UV member called Dilvus Wallier. Batman or Iron Man?
Dilvus, that's a very difficult question. They're
basically the same thing, but in different
universes.
Yeah.
They're both synonymous in their own right.
Yeah.
Because Marvel have done a great MCU and DC haven't really produced anything great in the cinematic universes in terms of the level.
The latest Batman's good. Have you seen that? Of Robert Pattinson?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think so.
And Batman. I mean, there have been great Batman films.
Yes, there has.
Trilogy.
Oh, yes, of course. There's been great Batman films, but just that whole cinematic universe has been brilliant up until the new set of phases that they've been doing with.
Chong's come on.
Yeah, this is interesting.
That is interesting.
This is interesting.
David Lee, big up the mod, says lager or wine. Drink responsibly, folks.
Wine, most probably. No, really? Lager, man. What am I talking about? Shandy, because I'll mix it with like a shandy. I'll make it into a shandy. Yeah, I'll make it into a shandy. I can't lie. Yeah, lager.
Yeah, I don't really like either that much. I wouldn't. If
But
I went to a
tonic
bar,
wine, I'll drink a tonic.
If I went to a bar, I'm not sure I'd order that. We're about to kick off as well, second half. We'll find the changes in a second. I'll find the changes in a second. See, that's what's fun, either or.
Yes.
It makes half time go very quickly.
Yeah.
And if the game gets boring, we're off. Second half is off. Underway. Manchester United 2-1 up as well. I forgot about that. But when the game gets dull on the match views, you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Talk about anything. Super chat from Shalil Patel says, which one, chicken tikka or Pana Indian style?
What is Pana Indian style? What's the name of it?
Shalil says, which one, chicken tikka or Pana Indian style?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I just go korma.
Yeah.
Korma.
Simple. You know exactly what
and
you're
it's nice. It's nice. I don't see why anyone wants to put themselves through physical pain to eat.
No, it's not physical pain.
It is. Have you seen some of those people?
Nah.
They're crying.
When I was younger, I used to cry.
They're sweating, and it's like, why would you put yourself through that? I want to eat. I want to enjoy my food.
I actually just enjoyed eating.
Why is everything a challenge?
Nah, it's
not for me.
No, I can't wait to see that, guys. Nigerian food and Caribbean food.
Yeah. Here's a look at the United side in the second half. So this is they do it by numbers, Man United, which is always frustrating. So Heaton still in goal. Right back is Laird. Interesting. Left back is Malacia. You've got Eric Bailly, and he's with Alex Tellez. So Tellez once again is playing as the centre back. You've got Charlie Savage and Zidane Bell have come on. You've got Chong and Ahmad as your wingers, and then you've got Marcus Rashford as your striker, who is also the captain in the second half as well. So you've got 10 changes. And a couple of surprising ones. I guess Ethan Laird at right back. That's quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Chong's playing on the right wing, so we'll see what he has to offer.
Here's Ahmad. Unlucky. A bit of a full pass. But again, Donny, it'll be interesting because this time Donny will certainly have a lot more of the ball than he did against Liverpool.
And he has opportunity to link up with another senior player, Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
And I want to see Ethan Laird play, and I'm very happy.
Yeah, I'm happy to see Ethan Laird playing as well.
I'm hoping that we can see something better. I think this is a more exciting side out of the two anyway. I was hoping it would be a better performance for the first team side, but very underwhelming. We can see why we need reinforcements. But, this side looks more interesting because there's going to be players that are vying for positions and want to make a good account of themselves. So
it looks like actually Ahmad's still playing up front.
Yeah, potentially. I think
and Rashford's on the left-hand side.
It's very fluid. So like we were saying before, what we're starting to see would always change and would always look to change. Here's some of the younger players that should be getting on there.
Garnacho, Hannibal.
Garnacho, yeah.
Hopefully they still come on. It's not to say just because we made 10 changes you can't make more.
Yeah, true.
Hopefully they do come on. Shalil Patel back with another super chat says, it's like cottage cheese cubes. Trust me, very nice. So that's what Pana Indian style is. I'm going to
try it. There's a really nice Indian place in Manchester before games. I'll go down if I'm there early. So I'll go down there and I'll try and ask for it.
Oh, and also, I didn't realise this. I heard this about you when you went to Manchester. Is you buy a load of... Well, it was Manchester, yeah, when you buy loads of books.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So there's Deansgate. There's a really nice bookstore there, and I always go to Deansgate. I got a membership at Waterstones, so I just go down there and buy books. And especially if it's like 2 games, a Sunday, Saturday, I'll book a hotel there for a little while, and I like to read. So yeah, Deansgate, man, go check it out. Waterstones.
There you go. Not enough people do read nowadays.
Yeah.
Not enough.
Yeah.
I
prefer that medium in terms of, because a lot of people do audiobooks. I used to do that, the Amazon audiobooks.
I struggle with it.
Reading.
I do struggle with it, the audiobooks. I mean, I've listened to a couple. I've got on my iPad, I get the Kindle app.
Yeah.
I read a lot of graphic novels. So there's an app called Comixology.
Yeah.
I read a lot of those.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I think I only started reading graphic novels, 1, because I like them, and 2, that was my attempt at trying to still read.
Yeah.
It's
difficult to
read something.
Exactly, yeah, true. It's a good start, or a good habit to have, man. To read as much as you can. So you don't always get time to do it, but when I'm out there in Manchester, it's really nice.
So Teller's once again playing at centre back, which is interesting. Yep. Again, I don't think that's out of any
makeshift
grand plan.
Yeah, makeshift and replicating what possibly could be in terms of Martinez. So
I like that, though, that Charlie Savage, though. See how deep he came there.
Very confident.
And asked for the ball from the goalkeeper, shifted it back out to Tellers. Look, he's basically playing in a centre back position there.
Young, fearless footballers for the club, and it's good. Want to see more of this fella here, though, Ethan Laird.
Ethan Laird. It'll be interesting to see
what he does. Yeah,
what he does in the second half. Interesting that he's going to be playing on the right-hand side with Chong, it looks like, as well. Certainly got a point to prove.
But look, we're dominating the ball a bit better. Just looks a bit better. Long pass by
Zidane Bell, aim for Donny van der Break, cleared.
Picks up again.
It still does look like, again, who is going to be that striker? If anything now, it's Donny. Is Donny going to be a striker? Or is it just going to be false 9 settings where it's just constant, that's ball over the top by Charlie Savage to Rashford, but Rashford is offside?
Yeah. I think it's going to be very fluid. They're all going to interchange. They're all going to occupy that 9 space and rotate it as and when they feel like communication is required, obviously, for that effectively. But it looks like it's Ahmad in the central area now. No.
Ed T says, clearly Charlie gets his talent from his mum's side.
Yeah. Because and a lot of time after every performance, or not every performance, but last performance, I'm always online seeing Robbie Savage compliment his son. I'm so proud of the performance. It's nice, but
hey, look, Robbie Savage is part of the class of '92.
He was
never made it into the Man United first team.
Yeah.
But let's not say he's a bad player. Opinionated.
Yes, yeah,
opinionated player.
Not a very creative footballer. You don't think Eriksen, you don't put him in the same bracket.
He was one of those players that if you go to a game of football, and he was in the opposition team, you actually enjoyed that he was playing because you knew he was one of those players you just got to scream at for 90 minutes. Always getting, kicking off, red cards, kicking people. One of those sort of classic sort of 90s, early 2000 football villains.
Yeah.
Fun to watch, though.
Yeah.
Is Donny, or goes out for another throw-in. So I'm still trying to figure out who the striker is, actually. Rashford's definitely on the left. Chong's definitely on the right. I think it's Ahmad, again, trying to play up front, and I think it's Donny as the 10. Oh, bad control from the goalkeeper. This is a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
They deal with it very well.
Donny not strong enough in that
might
press.
have gone out for a
he's thinking that's gone out, yeah.
But you're hoping to see something from Donny in this half.
We really need to, man. And he's got a little bit of a better side. They're showing clips of Nani now. Just cameras panned on Nani. But we're looking for better than what we got last time against Liverpool. When it comes to Donny, look, there you go.
Yeah, a bit of extra touches. Here's Marcus Rashford down United's left-hand side. Cuts it back. Ooh, was that meant to be cut back to Donny? Or was Zidane Iqbal has the shot? It's blocked. Yeah, hopefully he does get more time on the ball. Because again, he wasn't kind of anonymous. He was anonymous in that last game against Liverpool. But we're not going to see a similar style of second half to the one that we saw against Liverpool. Because against Liverpool in that second half, we had basically none of the ball. Whereas clearly we're going to have a lot more of it in this second half. And to be fair, you feel like Melbourne would be quite deflated because they would have thought, actually, we didn't play terribly that half. They go in at half-time losing, one by a deflected goal and the other one by a decent goal. So they'll be a bit disappointed, I think, by that. But this group of players, I mean, maybe
we've come into the game a bit earlier. We've come to get the game a bit earlier, you know.
Yeah. This group of players, this is the group of trying to break it into that first group of players that start the game, right?
Yeah. It looks a bit better. Like it is stalemate in terms of we're trying to work spaces in between the lines and that kind of thing. But before, it just looked like we weren't able to pass. So it's pedestrian. It's so slow. Everything's looking a bit one or two touch here.
Here's Ethan Laird to Zidane Iqbal. Once again, nice little pass to Donny. What can he do? He's got no support at all.
Yeah. He's going to reset.
Literally no support. Gives it back to Ethan Laird. Zidane Iqbal once again. Again, it's all very tight. It's very compact, isn't it?
Yeah. Goes out, asks us to start again.
So this would be interesting because it's a game that... So obviously, a lot of people were talking about Bailly against Liverpool because Bailly had a lot to do. I doubt after this game, they're going to be talking a lot about Bailly because chances are he's not going to really have much, if anything, to do in this half.
But if you have a studied performance, if when the counter-attacks happen and you're able to hold up the play and hold the defensive line... It's still something to look at and say he's done much better than the first half, the defenders that were playing in the first half. So
Tellez, that is shocking.
Yeah, that's really bad.
It's got out Melbourne victory.
He's left-footed, man. It's not that difficult.
Left foot, and he's just not controlled it at all, and it's gone out for a throw.
Poor concentration.
Yeah, very poor. But what's interesting though with Tellez as a centre back is I would assume he's probably a similar height to Lissandro Martinez.
Yeah. Funny enough, it's literally replicating what potentially could be.
Yeah.
But just with a lot more quality, I'm assuming, with Martinez.
Maybe that's what he's thinking. Like I said, oh, God. Tellez has got completely caught out. It's got to be a foul. Is the referee going to bring it back?
Nah.
No. Whew.
But, Egg by Jackie Chan.
That was. Oh, my God. That should be in a wrestling ring. A drop kick.
Yeah.
Charlie Savage, nice pass.
Good pass, yeah.
I think he looks so comfortable, doesn't he? And he's getting the ball in deep positions. Chong is led. What's his delivery like? Cuts it back. There's going to be nobody there. But he looks really comfortable, Charlie Savage, so far already. 10 minutes in, wants the ball, is Zidane Iqbal, bit of space, goes past the player, goes past another. Oh, unlucky. Wins it back. It's funny, actually, because you could maybe say that Charlie Savage is playing in that role that Ten Hag would want for Frankie de Jong.
Yep.
Deeper, taking the ball off the centre-backs, arriving a little bit late to attacks as well.
But his style is more like a traditional CDM in the sense, or like a Ruben Neves-ish. He's not really comfortable with driving with the ball, but a little bit dissimilar to Zidane, who I think can drive with the ball a bit better.
Yeah. But doesn't look out of place at all. And that's probably the biggest compliment you can give him, isn't it? Is that... in a team of, obviously these are more the youngsters, but there are certainly senior pros in there, experienced players, and he doesn't look out of place whatsoever. If anything, he's doing well because here he is again. He's managing to find a lot of space. Yeah,
it's little interchanges there. See, Malacia went out into the central area, and then he goes out wide into the left back space. They're just interchanging. It's literally they've been listening to what the manager wants. Oh, Zidane.
Yeah, Zidane Iqbal again just dances past a couple of players, ball into the box. Rashford might be a foul. No, he doesn't give it.
Yeah, there's clever little interchanges there that you can see as a feature of the team. When a fullback will come inside and one of the centre backs have to come and occupy that space that he's left. So Savage in that is understanding it for sure.
That Melbourne team is so deep.
Yeah,
they don't get out of their half.
Yeah.
Literally, there is one player in the Man United half. It's wild. They play the lowest of low blocks. You would have thought that, and maybe they will in the second half. They'll have to eventually come out a little bit more, unless they're just playing for set pieces and counterattacks at this point. But again, as an interesting sort of situation to find yourself in pre-season, and hopefully we'll find ourselves in this position a lot in the season as well. When you're winning the game, keep the ball, don't force it, don't leave open spaces too much. Erik ten Hag wanted that pass. That's to Ethan Laird. Goes up for a throw-in. This is Zdenek Bell. This is when he went past the player.
Yeah, roulette.
Just shrugged him off. See you later. Goes past two. Very nice.
Yeah.
And a decent ball into the box. Didn't find anyone. Rashford, bit of a shove in the back of the defender.
Yeah.
Looks tidy though, don't they?
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be the standout thing. Here's Malacia on this tour. Is a bit of an emergence, if you will, of people like Savage or Zdenek Bell.
It's a good point. I think someone will have a breakthrough season or make a claim, to be part of the squad next season. So, I was hearing rumors about a loan potentially for Zdenek Bell, but if you're playing well and you're playing how you are now and being free and understanding the system, then why not be able to be part of the Europa League games or Cup games?
Baye just cut the ball out there nicely as well. Is Malacia. It's definitely a bit of a walking pace in this half now, which again was quite similar to the Liverpool game. But Liverpool were a bit of a walking pace. This time it's United.
I'm not seeing our front three, do anything.
It's quite static.
It's very static.
Yeah.
But even though Bruno takes the risks, there's something always looking to happen with him. Donny the game kind of goes past him a little bit. Whereas Bruno's always looking to create something. He's always trying to force something to break lines. But you get the rash moments at times. Even Sancho's very effective 1v1, but Chong's not really. It's only 10 minutes in or so, 12 minutes in. So we started slow last half as well.
Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic is reporting that Chelsea, of course, had decided not to make an offer for Cristiano Ronaldo. They essentially rejected the prospect of buying him yesterday. But there are still some other clubs, including Atletico Madrid, that still retain an interest. Could you imagine Ronaldo going to Atletico? I mean, legendary figure at Real Madrid. Would he be willing?
Wow, yeah.
Would he be willing to tarnish all of that to go to Atletico? And also under Simeone, pressing from the front.
So I don't know.
Defensively rigid. Come on.
It would say a lot about his character. I mean, I think he does hold Real Madrid in a higher esteem than Manchester United.
He's scored the most goals ever for Real Madrid.
Exactly.
He's the icon.
But he was willing to go to Man City, if necessary. I guess, like I said, I think it's a bit different.
There's no way he's playing Simeone's style of football. Surely not.
But that will be a football team playing through him and to his strengths.
You think he's going to be part of those 11 behind the ball in the Champions League fixtures?
No. Well, he will be in shape, but in terms of pressing, and it's Correa that will be doing all the dog work. And that's perfect for him. He's got an offensive partner.
I just couldn't see that. I'd also heard that Atletico were also, financially, they were having to keep their eyes open for certain things because of everything that's going on when it comes to La Liga.
All the teams within La Liga. It's just some of them are so irresponsible, like Ahmad, like Barcelona. We're creating now. We're passing. There's a few passing patterns happening, but.
Laurie, we're also saying that Ronaldo has received a lucrative offer from an unnamed Saudi Arabia club worth £233.23 million. The club are also willing to pay Manchester United in the region of £25 million. However, he's not thought to be keen on accepting the offer. He wants to play Champions League football. And it must be said, if he left United, because he's like, ambition, I want to play Champions League football, and he went to Saudi Arabia, I know it's a lot of money, but you would go, wow, then it's about money. It's not about ambition.
Exactly. And
so I don't see that.
I wouldn't respect that. And I think, he wants to play in Champions League. He doesn't want to be out of Champions League next season. His rival, he needs to keep him at bay, and Messi. I've been seeing that he might even offer himself to PSG.
Well, he was offered to PSG, and PSG said no, that they didn't have space in the squad. And even PSG, who flagrantly break financial fair play, even though they say they don't, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Even in the sense of they go, Messi's going to be on this wage, and he just so happens then to get a Qatari sponsorship for the World Cup. Bear in mind, they're owned by the Qatari royal family. I wonder where that came from. I wonder where that came from, that sponsorship thing. They're totally unrelated, I'm sure. Even they said, if we got Ronaldo, that would be taking the piss. We would have Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar, Mbappe. The wages alone, there's no way PSG are making enough revenue to offset that when it comes to financial fair play.
Could be free here.
Ball into the box, goes to the goalkeeper. So
I
no
think
chance.
Neymar goes. Neymar goes to free up the Ronaldo wages, and he might even come United.
You reckon he'd actually go to PSG?
I don't want Neymar, by the way, and I think he would if he's that adamant that he wants to play Champions League. I think he would, and maybe even take a pay cut as well.
I'm thinking more and more he doesn't leave United.
Oh no, I don't. Yeah,
Because I think no one wants him.
Yeah, and he needs to settle down and be a professional and carry on and work with Ten Hag. And Ten Hag's been saying he wants to work with him, so I don't think he leaves as well. It would be best if he goes, but he's gonna score goals, and there's been moments where we've been in trouble. Norwich at home, and we needed a man to step up and produce some moments for us, and he's been the guy to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a flat second half here, it must
Very
be
much
said.
so, yeah.
Kind of, you get the impression that Melbourne have kind of resigned themselves to the fact that they're probably not going to they might get a set piece or a counter attack. Oh, Zidane Iqbal, jeez.
Yeah, still kept it though.
Recovered really well, actually.
Yeah,
to be fair,
very confident on the ball. Still driving with it. It's very difficult, That's
a nice little bit of football there.
it is.
Ethan led, good tackle. Do you know what is actually quite surprised? Well, sort of shocking is that if you said okay, you've got Fred and McTominay here, and you've got Savage and Iqbal here, who are the better technical players? It actually is Savage and Iqbal.
That's what I'm trying to say. You need to mix and match it.
Technically, they are better. They are better on the ball. In the opening, how long has been going in this half? Nearly 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like they look far more comfortable on the ball. Far more comfortable.
I said it in the fan cam. I think Zidane's ceiling in terms of potential, in terms of ability, is higher than McTominay's already. I'm just seeing 2 displays. Champions League display last season and 2 bits coming on now.
Yeah.
So his ceiling looks like it's a lot higher. Why is he not being mixed with maybe the more aggressive, the press, the player that understands the press maybe a bit better in the senior players and Fred and Scott? I think they should just mix and match it.
A little bit of a counter attack here for Melbourne. 1-on-1 with Bailly. He does really well.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
He does. He's a good centre back, man. I don't think that's ever been the issue.
No, this is the thing. Is like when you do see him play, every time Bailly plays, you say to yourself, he's good.
Mm-hmm.
He is good.
Yeah.
It's never a case of quality with him.
Yeah.
He's erratic, and sometimes there are mistakes from him being so erratic. But it's injuries. It's availability. Like there, he's 1-on-1. The striker attacker is 1-on-1 with him. He's in an unfavourable position. They're in behind here.
Right, by quick
offside, but he goes up for a corner, but he does well. He's 1-on-1. He's not in the best position. Just deals with it. Easy, no problem.
Yep. Fantastic defender and very brave
defender
as well. Very brave. You need brave defenders. But yeah, hopefully he stays.
You think he will?
No. They've been promised too many. Oli promised so many footballers.
Yeah.
So many things that he couldn't deliver. So
He's still got a long contract though.
Yeah.
He signed a contract in 2021. I think it's 4 or 5 years. Ball into the box. Tom Heaton does well.
Good hands. And then you mentioned it before. A lot of those players will be looking at all these players here. Will be looking and saying, I could have produced a lot better than what they just produced in that first half. It was very poor.
Counter attack from United, straight from the goalkeeper to Rashford to Ahmad. Oh, I thought it was meant to go to Chong. Maybe he overhits it. Good pass by Donny.
Yeah, very clever.
Ball. Good pass by Donny. Decent
well
counter
weighted.
attack there by Manchester United because they're used to it, Marcel. That's what they're used to. That's what they're built to do.
Perfectly said. I mean, honestly, Owen, it's part of our DNA and we understand that. And these players under the likes of Ole would have been doing this most probably a lot of the time. So breaking down backs of fours, 2 banks of fours, very difficult.
I think it's wild that like Chong was playing against PSG that night in Paris.
Yeah.
He was part of that. And I bet people at the time, I guess I did as well, he thought, oh, maybe this is, kick on. Still the same. Donny over the corner, whips it in. Goalkeeper claims it. No one can take a good corner in this game. Not for United, not for Melbourne as well.
Bruno, no. Shaw, no.
Yeah, Donny, no.
Yeah.
You need Ericsson.
Yeah.
You need Ericsson.
You
Just
need
for
him.
the set pieces alone,
Yeah.
let alone the passing and, the technical ability he has.
Savage with
does
a
well again.
good tackle. Breaking up play. Those two look fabulous, man. They're
do.
Good. Yeah,
they do. They've got something about them, don't they? They operate really well. And that's not. And I know people will say, "Oh, it's pre-season. It's against it's farmers or whatever. You're bigging them up too much." Well, I saw Fred and McTominay play in that first half, and they struggled.
Exactly.
They could not keep the ball at their feet, and they didn't look that composed. Attempted a ball over the top here by Savage, goes to Donny. It's a good pass.
Yeah, honestly, it's really good performances. Again, 2 back-to-back.
Yeah, they complement each other really well.
Really well.
Yeah, in fact, Thor just says, I think Savage and Zidane complement each other really well. And again, this is not to say, finds himself in some space here, Savage. That's a good ball to Donny as well. Is he onside? It's offside. Decent pass, though. Charlie Savage, start him. Yeah. Give him the Ballon d'Or. Golden
Zidane
boy.
done it last game, clever pass, even though they were offside. But the quality to be able to do it once you see it is
and
there.
Not just that, it's to see it and fancy and back yourself to do it.
Confidence.
Because we've seen with people like McTominay and Fred, and I'm not just slander them, but they might see that pass, but they'll go, there's no way I make it. There's no way I can do that. It's the, being comfortable enough to do it, having, like you said, the balls to do it, really.
Yeah. Facts.
The confidence to do it. And, I think you got to, I don't know, it's going to be interesting that. Because if that continues throughout the pre-season tour, it's not to say he should be starting Premier League matches or he should be starting against Brighton, but it's a player previously that you didn't have that you think, actually, you know what? They can add something.
And you've still got James Garner to add to that equation. You've still got Hannibal to add to that equation.
Yeah, I really want to see James Garner. It's unfortunate that I think he's dealing with a bit of an injury at the moment.
And players are there younger players are there to step up. They're hungry. So
Super chat from Shubham says, 19-year-old Iqbal and Savage teaching McTominay lessons. Hope these two become an integral part of the first team as the season progresses.
Yeah. Or Rashford with the press.
Rashford closing down the goalkeeper.
Ahmad.
Look, I think...
Oh, we've got the ball back.
And I hope, hopefully, in either the interview after the game or in one of the press conferences, someone asked Ten Hag about Savage and Iqbal. I think last time, it was the guys from Stretford Paddock. Big up those guys. Great getting those questions in the press conference. It's just, honestly, breaking down doors. It's wild. I think they asked about Iqbal and he was saying he was pleasantly surprised. So... yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy, again, to come in and just have that confidence straight away.
Young players, man. This is more to what we're meant to be about. Young players getting opportunities and taking them, and right now. And it's difficult, It's not goals and assists. You would think goals and assist numbers. They're just showing quality, competence, composure, a little bit, just things a little bit above their years, and that's good signs. We're not saying they're ready-made articles and they should be playing in the Premier League, but they're showing signs that they could be good enough and they're ready to learn. And
it goes to show, to an extent, how low the standards have been a little bit, that our sort of starting midfielders just don't have that technical ability.
Yeah, you're right.
And that how staggering it is that you have people that come in that just have the ability to find a pass or have a bit of composure on the ball, not panic when the ball's at their feet.
Yeah.
Such a difference. So imagine this is why it's exciting that potentially we are bringing in your Frankie de Jongs and your Christian Eriksen's, because imagine that times 10.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for.
It's a poor pass. He just fumbled the pass.
Back pass.
Yeah, he fumbled a pass Eric Bailly there. But what don't you credit that to maybe the manager then, Owen? Because, Player of the year, or was it Young Footballer of the Year?
Charlie Savage again. What a pass that is.
Yeah, look.
Dave Chong.
That's a good pass.
Oh, unbelievable.
Chong's now got the...
It's Chong. Donny made the run. It was the wrong pass.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're taking the piss.
They're good
Charlie
players.
Savage.
I'm telling you.
Pass. Man, oh man.
An upgrade on his old man. So, wouldn't you credit this to... look at this. Look. What's he done there?
Yeah,
just a bit. That's the element of his game sometimes that he has a bit of a rash that you were saying.
Erratic.
Yeah, erratic, unpredictable. But Ten Hag is young player of the year under Jose Mourinho, Scott McTominay.
Yeah.
Fred is a purchase from Mourinho era as well.
Yeah, but
so, that style of player is not. Mourinho doesn't want technical players, and so a credit to Ten Hag coming in, and that's the kind of footballer that he wants.
I think he'll be pleasantly surprised. I don't think he probably had any inclination that Charlie Savage and Zidane Iqbal were going to be doing this in these first two couple of games. But this is the point. If you're a young player, if you get an opportunity, grab it with two hands, because you never know. It's like when they were playing in the Champions League last season against young boys, or it's like those people that played in that Youth Cup that time. You might never play for Manchester United again, or you might never get that opportunity to play or stamp your authority. There are so many great footballers that go through academies and go through youth system and youth football that just never get a chance for whatever reason. Football, whilst it is based on talent, there's a lot of talented footballers out there that don't make it because they don't get a bit of luck. They don't get the opportunity, or things don't go their way. So when you do get an opportunity, even if it's small in a pre-season fixture that you say, oh, nobody's watching or nobody cares or anything like that, take your opportunity.
Yeah.
Stamp your authority on the game. Prove yourself, because you never know where it will lead. Even if it's not to a future with Manchester United, it might be a future elsewhere. Or you can just, at the end of the day, when you're old and grey in the retirement home, you can tell your grandkids, I played for Manchester United one day and I played really well.
Yes.
And I can hold my head up high. And other people that did get an opportunity that weren't as good as me, I outshone them on that day. So I think absolutely take your chance, take your opportunity.
Self-pride, and in performance and just believing in yourself, grasping the moment, and that's the kind of platform we should be offering young players anyway as Manchester United Football Club. So, some of the players, a lot of them, they do get opportunity, and it's good. It's really good. And that's just the principle that you need to take in life as well. Grabbing opportunities when you get
Yeah, absolutely. When there's a crack in the door, kick it open.
Yeah.
100%. Who knows where it could lead to?
Yeah.
We might be in 6 months' time saying, I tell you what, we didn't think... Nobody saw Charlie Savage and Zidane Iqbal come in. That's a bad pass by Charlie Savage.
Yeah. Young, though.
Yeah, exactly. Give him the benefit of the doubt. But who knows where it can lead?
Yeah.
Why not? Take opportunity.
We haven't seen much from our goalkeeper at all.
No, well, we haven't really had to. He's only really had to pick the ball out the back of his net. Really, hasn't he? Which is he'll be quite frustrated with. I mean, definitely controlled the game second half. Like I said, Melbourne have backed off a lot. I mean, you kind of forget, don't you, that if you don't have a lot of the ball, but you're playing a low block, that is so taxing. Because mentally, you have to be on it for the whole game. And as we saw in the first half, once you start getting to those final 10, 15 minutes of the half, the game does get incredibly stretched.
Yes.
So it's no coincidence that's when we scored our goals in that half, because it became a bit stretched. Spaces started to open up. It would have been interesting to see if Sancho had played like an extra 15 in the game, what he would have achieved. Same with Martial. Because I think they'd have just ripped him apart in the second half, to be honest.
It's a lot of shot. It's like side, all good.
Free kick, ball in, Heaton claims it, easy.
A lot of side-to-side shuffle. It was a counter-attack, yeah? Rashford on the ball, counter-attack.
Counter-attack settings. It's Manchester United. Ollie ball. Oh, he tries a long pass to Chong. Does get there,
Chong,
but...
That first touch twice now. Yeah, Chong's not got... I was really, early signs were looking like he was a very tidy footballer. Would have come, hit the ground running, but I would have preferred to maybe see Garnacho start ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, like we said in the beginning of the second half... Just because you've made the subs at half-time doesn't necessarily mean those players that didn't get on, like your Garnachos, like your Hannibals.
Oh, Ekbai's given away a never pass.
Oh, there we go.
Left us 3v2.
Take the foul, Charlie Savage. He tried it. Advantage played. He might bring it back.
He might do, yeah, because I think everybody's,
He's played it too long now, so he'll have to carry on. Buy again.
Can't do that in the Premier League. It's gone off.
Goal kick.
Yeah.
It's Bailly though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And against this kind of opposition, you shouldn't be doing that. A little bit more tidy. And I think the manager does maybe mark you down for that, because even though, look, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
You can take the careless.
Sloppy. I like it though with Charlie Savage, the tactical foul. Put him to the ground.
Yeah.
City do enough of it. That's Pep Guardiola's philosophy.
He's more of a
counter attack, rip him to the floor, take a yellow.
More of a traditional CDM, rough and tumble kind of, but got the quality, got all the class. And
is Ethan led? I haven't seen a lot of him really.
No.
I've hoped to have seen a bit more.
He doesn't have that underlapping style and the clever runs that Delo has. That looks like a defender first.
Bailly once again gives it to Charlie Savage. To Malacia. Oh, how much does he actually touch the ball in this game?
It's still pedestrian, It's still not good enough. It's still
very slow, isn't it? But it's like, to be fair, that's what it was like against Liverpool. The second half was just very slow and pedestrian. Liverpool were the same.
What positives do you think Ten Hag takes out of this game?
I don't know. I mean, clearly the win. Winning mentality, momentum of continuing to win games. I think he'd be really disappointed with the majority of the first half. Yeah. That opening 25, 30 minutes were really, really poor. The goal that we conceded in the first half was really poor.
Yeah.
I don't think you can overlook that. I thought Maguire looked really off. You could argue that, Shaw down that left-hand side got beat so easily. It was a simple counter-attack goal. It was, absolutely preventable. Here's Chong down the right-hand side.
Here's one underlap by Ethan Laird. Didn't get the ball. It's a cross, though.
Left foot in, though.
Ahmad's going to
Ahmad
try.
on the edge. Yeah, I think he'll be disappointed with that. He'll be pleased, and like I said, in that we, steadied the ship somewhat, and then got the goals. First one was lucky. Second one was a good goal. I think he'll be happy with Jadon Sancho and that right-hand side. I think Sancho and Dallo looked decent at times. Sancho particularly looked very good.
Yes.
If I'm thinking about other players that started in the first half that he would be happy with, not many.
Yeah.
Martial,
Yeah.
because he gets the goal again. But apart from that, I mean, he said after the Liverpool game, didn't he? There were a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, he's got so much.
So, I think there probably more in
way
this
more.
game. Second half, like we were saying, I think he'd be happy with Savage, Iqbal.
Yeah.
I mean, could you say, I can't think of really any other players that particularly stood out in this half.
No. But like you said, a good point in terms of, yes, this is the starting lineup, but you'd like to see maybe a few more changes. So maybe in the next 3 minutes or so, coming up to the 80th minute mark, you will see, the last 10 minutes of the game, some side.
Nice free ball. Rashford's through, flicks it past the goalkeeper. It's going to be 3-1. Marcus Rashford, I was just about to say he's been quiet. He's been lively and buzzing around, but he gets his goal, and good.
Yes.
He needs that goal.
Yep.
He really, really needs that goal. Confidence for Marcus Rashford. Now, hopefully this is the impetus to kick on a little bit. Nice little through ball, little flick past the goalkeeper.
Eric Bailly, driving with the ball again. Feature of his game.
Pass.
Yeah. I think I was mentioning that before in terms of a player that can, it's a little bit dissimilar to Maguire, someone that can carry the ball in the defensive line. And Eric Bailly's done that twice now in 2 different games and created opportunities. For the team.
We were saying, wasn't it? I said that maybe Bailly wasn't going to get as much attention in this game because he wasn't going to have much to do. But again, he's done the same thing he did against Liverpool. Forward run, driving, stepping out, which sometimes you need. When it's so pedestrian, side to side, not a lot going on, all it takes is one person just to break the lines, run it, and then see what happens. A nice through ball, and Rashford gets his goal. Not a particularly, clever finish or anything like that. Just get it on target. Yeah, and that's all he needs at this point in time. Just get a goal, get your confidence going.
Yeah, it's confidence because we do see Maguire. It was a feature of his game driving with the ball. I don't want to discredit him. Last season he was driving with the ball, but it was into wide areas. A lot of the time Eric Bailly's doing it through the centre, and it's causing panic for midfielders and centre backs. He had some defending to do.
But, that's good for Rashford because particularly in that Liverpool game when he missed that opportunity, I just thought he needed it.
Yeah.
He really needed it. So hopefully that spurs him on. And actually, he was in the centre-forward position then.
Yes. Yeah.
So maybe Ten Hag does look at that and think, well, Rashford as a striker is an option.
Yeah.
I think you would definitely say in this second half, because you can see him now, he's in a much more central position than he was earlier on. He actually started on the left, and for the last 10, 15 minutes, he's more been in that striker role. Coming really deep, though, now. He's on the ball alone. Oh, through the legs. Go again. Oh, I tried it twice. Yeah. You got greedy, Marcus.
Yeah.
You got greedy. You should know about greed. No. None of it. But he needed the goal, a bit of confidence, but it's definitely starting as that striker. Melbourne are on the attack here. It goes wide. Yeah. But definitely he'll be thinking, Ten Hag, wow, both my strikers scored. Not bad.
Good signs.
Martial looks, I would say, even with Rashford in central positions, he still doesn't look particularly comfortable, I would say. Yeah. Whereas the way that Martial's played over the last 2 games, he looks more of a striker than as a winger actually at this point in his career, I think. I can't
believe I'm saying that. I think his best performances for the club have been off that left wing. I think a lot of his goals for the club have been off that left wing and curling it into the bottom or the keeper's left, bottom right. So, but he understands the pockets. His movement is astute. It's very clever. It's and he's very patient on the ball. He knows when to hold onto the ball, come out of the packed box and hold onto the ball and try and reset a moment and reset the passing. So he's good. He's actually good in the 9 position. Can't trust him for a whole season though, is what I would say. Can't trust his style for a whole season. I don't think he's very consistent.
Fleck said to Bailly after the game in Bangkok, Eric, defensive midfielder. Is there any way he could do that role?
It's a good question. Him and Lindelof, I would put up to it. Possibly. Is his discipline, is his spatial awareness, is his understanding of where he is on the pitch at all times, going to be up there? Maybe not. So, but he.
I don't know if he could. I mean, we have seen some quite shifty passes from Eric Bailly today, it must be said.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has that amount of technical ability, especially a defensive midfielder. If it was a defensive midfielder in like an Ollie system, you would say maybe.
Yeah.
Because he does have a little bit of technical ability, but he's got the sort of physicality of, being a ball winner. But under Ten Hag, your defensive midfielder needs to be high quality, top quality on the ball. The ball's still in. Zidane wins the ball back. Is he going to cut it back here? Or he's going to find the pass? Gives it to, I think that's Malacia. Ball into the box. Rashford with the header. Ooh.
Yeah, so he your head needs to be on a sixpence, rotating, looking continuously. I don't think everybody does that. Scanning continuously. Understanding exactly where you are on the pitch. He doesn't seem like a player that strikes me like that. And it's difficult because as centre-backs, you're just looking at the game in front of you. So, we haven't seen him in that position to know what he'll be like, but it doesn't really strike me as a fully aware player in terms of where you are on the pitch. And that's what's required when you're in the middle.
Fat Thor says, Owen, Bailly will do more than McTominay. Who'd be a better defensive midfielder? Bailly or McTominay?
Either or.
Yeah, yeah. I never gave it either or.
I said I want Scott in the centre back, so I'll go with him. I'll go with the super chat. I want to see Scott in the centre back or try and see what he can do. So, and then you could just do a straight swap there.
Ball put in by Melbourne, headed away by Bailly.
Composed, big killer.
Composed. Just levers it up the pitch. Bit of a counter-attack opportunity for United, though, or Donny doesn't win it.
What do you think about Donny so far?
Still quiet, really. It's your typical... That's got to be a free kick. He's wrestled to the floor, man. He's still being wrestled. Look what he's saying to him. Don't apologise to me. You nearly ripped my arm out the socket. I hate people that do that during the game. They'll foul you and they'll go, sorry, mate. Nothing about... No, get away from me.
Yeah. He wants to go and show his quality. He wants to go and help the team.
Exactly. That could have been a moment for him.
Yeah.
And he's got ripped to the floor. Yeah. Look at him. Yeah, sorry, mate. Sorry, it's all.
So he's annoyed.
Get out of it.
Yeah, he's annoyed. Yeah.
No, it's just been another Donny performance from him. Really, your Donny United performance, whereby don't do that much.
Do you think?
And this was meant to be the one that he was going to get more of the ball, and he still has had none of the ball really. It's still been very quiet, very pedestrian.
I'm very worried that it's too early to say that it could be an issue long term. But
I mean, like you see him there, he does make runs.
Yeah,
but. He's not affecting the game.
Yeah.
And I know they're different players, but they're still playing in the same position and same role. In that Zidane was trying to find Donny there.
Yeah. He's always setting up for the runs. He's always trying to make himself available
or anything like that. But you notice how the difference between him and Bruno is Bruno will go out of his way to stamp his authority on the game. He'll go and take the ball from someone as if to say, look, if you're not going to give me it, I'll go get it for myself.
Yeah.
Whereas Donny feels like he's always trying to make those runs, always trying to get into pockets and spaces. But if people don't pass him the ball, he's going to be quiet.
Yes.
He's not the kind of person that's going to grab the game by the scruff of the neck and stamp his authority on it.
And that's why I'm saying Bruno's a great player, because he will, once Eric Ten Hag gets that kind of, teaches him the moments of when to try and be dominant in the game and keep the positional discipline that Donny does have, he's also got the productivity. So the numbers will be good and you'll also be benefiting the team because you're being more disciplined, as in stay here or make these correct runs more often. Nani's coming on. Nani coming on. He's still in unbelievable shape, by the way. Yeah.
He's absolutely jacked.
Yeah.
He's a quality player. Shivam with the super chat says, to be honest, our second strength team has looked better and organised in both matches, and it's mainly because of the control in the midfield and the defence. I think, to be fair, it's a fair point. Definitely in this game, this second team in the second half, maybe Melbourne have been not at it as much as they were in the first half, but this second team's look far more composed.
Yes.
Far more composed, particularly as the super chat there mentioned, particularly in the midfield and in the defence. I think, to be fair, you have to put Tellez in there with Bailly, but Bailly and Tellez, nice little flick there as well by Zidane.
He's class.
Yeah.
He's class. He's very comfortable.
Yeah, they've looked particularly composed, the centre backs, and again the midfielders as well. Especially after a first half performance where we saw Maguire panic a lot.
Yeah,
we saw Fred and McTominay, particularly McTominay again, panic a lot on the ball. And like there, so Zidane had the ball there. He drove forward a little bit. Oh, ball bouncing around in the box a bit. Instead of going sideways, he thought, all right, I'm going to drive into the space a little bit and then try and find the pass. Yeah. McTominay don't do that.
Yep.
In his mind, he knows that technically he's maybe not up to snuff, so I'm just going to go sideways and try and not mess up, basically.
Yeah. Again, a Mourinho type player, physical, tall, strong. You know, he's not thinking about getting into places where I can hurt the team and where I can help with the build up.
Rashford has a shot from far out, goes wide. Yeah, I mean, I think it's impressive. And now, as after 2 impressive second half performances from them both, from Savage, from Zidane, Iqbal, you would then say, okay, is one of them going to start in that next game?
Who would you want to feature more out of the 2 next season? Who looks like it's a type of player that we would need? If you get Frankie de Jong, you maybe have the Zidane Iqbal type, obviously to a higher level. But in terms of being clever, you know, sturdy in the passing, you know, good defensively, concentrates a lot, Savage maybe is the one that you see maybe getting more games.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, because again, just looking at how he's played in this second half, he's been a lot deeper.
Yes.
And I think maybe that would be more to Ten Hag's fancy. But they both deserve an opportunity.
Yes.
With their performances. Again, they second half, it's the same people really that were the standout players in the second half against Liverpool. You would say Bailly, Savage and Iqbal, the 3 people that you would say, yeah, strong second half from them.
Yeah.
Other people that maybe we had hoped to see more from, we haven't seen much of. He's always on the ball, isn't he?
Yeah.
Zidane Iqbal. Always on it.
Plays it to Savage.
Yeah.
Savage is finding someone now. It was a good press, by the way, by Chong, but he's not really been that effective. But these two, they get they dominate. They're really dictating the tempo, these two.
Yeah.
They're pointing, they're confidently pointing out where the next pass should really go.
I say Ten Hag, you know, just make some waves in the next game. Who's the next one against Palace? Next one. Make some waves. Start them both.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah.
See what happens. Reward them.
Yeah.
Say to the rest of the squad, if you play well, this is what happens.
Yeah. And you're playing alongside Bruno, who's very productive. So a lot of good work that you're doing, he'll make something of it.
And also, you're saying to Fred and McTominay, up your game.
Yes.
You know, for so long, it's been assumed just McFred, they're starting. We've got no one else. We do have some other people. And also, we've got some other people coming in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's positive. It is positives, but, you know, what do you think of Chong? What do you think of Chong?
Quiet.
Very quiet.
Quiet. Same with Ahmad.
Yeah.
Same with Donny.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, apart from Rashford when he didn't, you know, his goal, I was going to say he was quite quiet as well.
Yeah. Off the ball shape as a team. What about team shapes? You know, off the ball. You know, last game against Liverpool.
That's a bit of a tighter press there.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Now you put it out to Chong. You're 1-on-1 now. Try and take him on.
Yep. He has
does it
that.
well actually. Put it into the box. Oh, it's an own goal.
Own goal.
4-1. Chong did well.
He did.
He did well there.
He did.
Good move, good pressing by Manchester United. Wins the ball back, gives it out to Chong. 1-on-1 with the right back. Takes him on, does well. Ball into the box. Goes off a Melbourne Victory player. And it's 4-1. And suddenly, Marcel, it looks a little bit dominant.
Yeah. In patches, though. We're playing in patches right now. But it's good to see, man. The goals are coming. We're creating opportunities as well. In both games, we've created opportunities. And, you know, a lot of the time we was struggling to do that last season.
Look at that, Chong. Did well. Took the player on, ball into the area.
Yeah.
If there's no one in there, just put it in the area. See what happens. And that's what you get. To be fair, from the defender, I have no idea what he's doing there.
He's in the wrong position.
Wrong position. Leads with the wrong foot as well.
He's just ball watching too
He
much.
knows.
Sometimes you've got to race to get to your recovery position and defend your area quicker than watching the ball.
Super chat from It's Pouts says Savage needs a Ghana type loan next season. Looks like a player that would benefit from consistent game time. If they're not going to be featuring that much for Man United this season, and look, chances are they won't, does Ten Hag need to consider, well, actually, the quality is there. Like I said earlier on, whilst an impressive showing in this preseason might not do anything for this coming season, you're already planting the seed in the mind of the manager of actually next season, he could be a proper player for us. So if they're not going to feature, do people like Iqbal and Savage need to be going out on loan, do you think?
Yes, 100%. I think these two, for what I've seen early signs, I would like to keep one of them. But, you know, there's vacancies. I was saying James Garner looks like a perfect fit at Crystal Palace. You know, Gallagher's gone. It's time to kick on. You want a Premier League loan. Maybe, but, you know, maybe Zidane's more of a, you know, the better fit out of the two. You know, James Garner being a bit more defensive in mindset. And then, you know, Zidane's got a bit more rounded game, a bit like Gallagher. So there's a vacancy there, and I would like to see players like, you know, Savage, Zidane, Garner getting loans at Premier League clubs, playing at Premier League football, and Crystal Palace is a place that would take them, and Vieira's playing good football right now.
Yeah, I mean, also as well, you forget that James Garner can come into this.
Yes.
As well, because I think people on this preseason tour were excited to see him play in the centre midfield position. I don't think Savage and Iqbal weren't even on people's radar.
Yeah, exactly.
They weren't even on the radar for this preseason tour. Man, that camera's shaky. Jeez.
Yeah.
It would have been about James Garner. So in Garner's absence, these two have also stepped up in that. So I do hope we see Garner at some point, because there's a big decision that needs to be made about his future as well. We don't know if he's going to be at United in terms of
with these
permanent,
two
on loan.
Yeah, but I feel like that he might already be displaced unless I see something completely different from him. That's a level higher than what these two are performing at right now, and it's early signs. This is all in context, as it's very early.
Yeah.
But so far, if they keep this level, I would like to see them maybe get opportunities ahead of James Garner. We haven't seen anything from him though, so yeah.
But certainly promising, though. Promising youngsters.
Yeah.
Always talk about the academy, getting opportunities.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, I think if you're going to compare them as well, and it's not this, sometimes when we talk about youth players, we can get a bit carried away. We see a half-decent performance, and we say, they're better than this senior player, or they're better than that senior player. But legitimately, if you're going to compare,
look at this.
look, a ball over the top once again by Charlie Savage.
Yeah.
I think he's onside, is Ahmad. If he cuts it back, just over the top of the goalkeeper, too far for Rashford. But again, what pass by Charlie Savage.
They're breaking lines. They're literally dictating the play. We haven't done anything intricate or clever. It's been a good set of long passing through the lines from both our sixes and their young sixes.
Yeah. I mean, it's very impressive.
Yeah.
Really impressive. And again, it's not a situation where it's like, and that's full time.
Yeah.
Manchester United 4, Melbourne victory 1. After a shaky start, Marcel conceding a goal, we go into halftime 2-1 and we end the game 4-1. I think after a shaky start, we'll take that, don't you?
I mean, winning is a great habit to have, however it happens, and it's a never win. But a few warning signs there. It's not the press. We haven't seen a press today.
Yeah.
We haven't seen great build up, really. So there is in patches, and we scored lucky moments. Some of them were lucky moments. Scott McTominay's one, the own goal. It's only really bits of quality like Martial's one, and good quality from the youngsters as well in the second half, but not much really to shout about.
Well, also I think what is really interesting is the disparity between a first half performance that was very Manchester United from last season of here we go again, mistakes, no real pressing, passing really poor, and then in the second half, yes, the game and the tempo went down significantly, but in the second half, there was composure on the ball. There was decent passing. There was an element of pressing as well.
Yes.
And I don't think that will be lost on Erik ten Hag. I think he will say maybe to some of those more senior players in the first half, going, take a look at that.
Yeah.
Like what you're supposed to be, that's supposed to be the other way around, is it not?
Yeah, 100%. And he will look towards, obviously, that first half in the Liverpool game where they were doing it right. It's just about consistency and understanding, which they just didn't show that in the first half. But obviously the second half, the two youngsters really grabbed hold of the game, and that's what you'd really be expecting from the senior players. So I think there's something to look at in terms of making a little combination change, for Erik ten Hag, one senior player with one youth player. But there's a lot of work to be done for sure now, and that performance there pointed towards that.
Absolutely. Wow, there you go, guys. Second pre-season fixture for Manchester United and the second victory for Manchester United. Let's see if we can get 3 in a row for the next pre-season fixture. Let's see if Ten Hag is undefeated. He's undefeated as manager, so who's to say he can't continue that record in pre-season? Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Plenty still coming up today. Of course, Flex and KG are out there in Melbourne, so we're going to get their reactions. I'm very excited to see what KG thinks about all of this and Flex, so there's going to be plenty coming from them inside the stadium. We're going to get myself and Marcel's reaction after the game as well, so plenty to come. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We'll speak to you again very soon. We're out of here. Peace.